Video games. I like them. You like them. Let's rank them. This is the every video game I've ever played tier list. Please excuse the mess behind me, by the way. I'm still moving and I'm going crazy a little bit, but that's besides the point. I went into my little mind hole and I thought of every single video game I could ever think of playing in my entire life ever. And we here have like 120 different games that I could think of that I wanted to talk about today for this video. This is a new channel, you know what I mean? So I think of this as a bit of an icebreaker so you get to know me, whether you'll agree with everything I have to say or I will scare you away a little bit. I don't need to explain the rankings. It's a tier list. You know, we're all adults here. You know how tier list works, S through F. But I also have this I don't know category, which is exactly what it sounds like. If it's been a while, or I never beat the game, or I just don't really have an opinion on it that much, I'm just gonna put it there. And I'm also like certain there's at least something I forgot. So if I forget and I remember while I'm doing the tier list, I'm gonna add to it. But if I completely forget, I'll leave a comment or something saying how I feel about another game that I've played that I've just forgotten about. So first up, we have Uncharted Drake's Fortune. This is the first Uncharted game, for those who don't know, developed by Naughty Dog, exclusive for PlayStation 3. And I think that this game is mid. So that's a perfect place to start because you guys know what a C tier game is. So the first time I played this game, I was already familiar with the Last of Us series, and I was like, you know what, let me hop into Uncharted for the one time. You know, I had the trilogy collection, whatever it was called, and I sat down and I was like, let me try Uncharted. And I actually beat this game in one sitting. I sat my little white ass down and I did not get up until I finished this game, which may make you think like, wow, it was that good. No, it was just kind of short. It was like 3 or 4 hours. And I was just like, oh, I guess I'm progressing through this fast. I might as well finish it. And I did. And I'll be honest, it was not a very memorable experience. I kind of forgot about this game for a while and the fact that I played it. So it's going in the C tier. It's okay. Next up from Naughty Dog, we have The Last of Us, the first Naughty Dog game I've ever played. The Last of Us, everyone knows The Last of Us. Your mom probably knows The Last of Us. Your grandma might know The Last of Us. My grandma probably knows The Last of Us and she's dead. So The Last of Us is completely unbelievably popular series. It is the game that kind of, I feel like, popularized like movie games that PlayStation loves to make over and over again, which is fine because I like movie games. But what I have to say about The Last of Us is that it does deserve the hype. It really does. It is that good. It deserves to be remastered well, maybe it doesn't deserve to be remastered like 3 times, but it definitely deserves all the love it gets. It definitely deserves to be made into a TV show. And I honestly think that for what it is, it's about as good as you can get. So I'm gonna put it in the A tier. Now, The Last of Us 2, this is where shit gets interesting. I remember when The Last of Us 2 came out, man. It was riddled in controversy. A little bit of background for you, for those who may not know. This game came out June 2020, I believe, and the game, a couple months to it coming out, was completely leaked. Like, the story, the cutscenes, like, everyone knew how this game was going to pan out before the game came out. And let me tell you, the direction that this game took was not what a lot of people wanted, and that made me very worried for the game. I didn't look at any spoilers. I was going in blind, as God intended, and I played the game and I was kind of fucking blown away. Like, it did not go the direction. I'm not going to spoil it, even though probably everyone knows what happens in this game. I did not expect it to go the way that it did. But that being said, it had a very profound effect on me when I played it for the first time. Now, that being said, I was like 17 when I played it for the first time. I'm going to be 24 in a few months. I haven't played it since. I don't know if it's like as good as I remember it. I feel like in watching some videos since then and kind of like reflecting on it myself, it's hard for me to speak on it, honestly. I this game is due for a replay for myself. And for that, I'm not going to put it all the way at the top of S tier that I would have when I first played the game. I'm going to put it right next to its little brother right there, The Last of Us. I think both of them work together. I think 2 is the riskier game, and for that, it kind of makes me like it a little bit more. But once again, I need a replay this game to really get a full understanding and be able to cohesively say my thoughts about it. That being said, the first season of the show is really good. I would recommend it. The second season of the show that covers part of the Last of Us 2 story is horrible. Don't watch it. please. Matter of fact, don't even watch season 1. It's that bad. Next up, we're sticking with PlayStation because that's just the order that the tier list put these games in. We have Ghost of Tsushima. I'm gonna start with Ghost of Tsushima, the Ghost of series, Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Tsushima came out shortly after The Last of Us 2, and it is fucking fire. It is a great game about being a samurai, doing a samurai shit. Your uncle is the emperor, and he's also your only living family. And then Mongols invade, and you have to kill a bunch of Mongols who are invading the island of Tsushima. And the gameplay is great. The exploration is fun. The combat is really, really good. The boss fights are pretty decent. The game visually is pretty unbelievable, and for that reason, it is a very solid, very, very solid A tier game. Now, the next one, the Ghost of Yotei. This is where things get a little more complicated. Okay, this might throw you for a loop a little bit. All right. This game's gonna be in the C tier. I'm sorry. Let me explain myself, because if you've played both these games, you know they're not too dissimilar from one another. Ghost of Yotei came out 5 years after Ghost of Tsushima, and they are almost the exact same game. They're almost the exact same game, but the story of Ghost of Yotei is like way worse. Like, it's kind of ass. They made a couple of changes to, like, you know, you're in a different area of Japan, but honestly, the game visually doesn't look that different from Ghost of Tsushima, a 5-year-old game at the time. And the combat, they made some additions to the combat that really, really left me disappointed and they kind of felt unnecessary at the end of the day. Basically, in Ghost of Tsushima, you had these stances. So you only had the katana, and you would change your stance based off the enemy that you were fighting. So if you were fighting someone with a shield, you would use the water stance, I think it was. Or if you're facing like a brute, a big dude, you'd put on the moon stance or whatever. And it was kind of like a rock, paper, scissors-esque kind of, okay, I fight this, so I use this type of deal. In Ghost of Yotei, what they did instead is they gave you different weapons. So instead of just having the katana, you had a yari, which was like the giant pole type of deal. You had dual blades. You had a giant super heavy katana. You had a bunch of different options. But what sucks about it is that this is just a reskinned version of the stances from Tsushima. Like, if you, for example, tried to use a yari on a brute, you're gonna feel like a fucking idiot because it sucks. So it's literally the stances mechanic, except it's with new weapons, and you really don't have the sort of freedom to use what you want to use in different engages that I really thought was going to happen. It's pretty copy and paste, honestly. And listen, I video game sequels, they don't have to be super revolutionary. They don't have to be the next step up. I think there are game sequels that are very straightforward that I think are very good, but this one being a 5-year wait, and to me just being a worse version of Ghost of Tsushima, I really can't put it higher than the C tier, honestly. It by itself, it is a good game. It is better than Uncharted. It is better than Uncharted. It is way better than Uncharted. But in context of the series, I honestly, if you've never played either of the games, I would only recommend Tsushima. And if you really, really like it, play Yotei. I would never recommend you play Yotei first. And that's just me. There may be other people that feel differently about it, but it's just kind of okay to me. And maybe if I replayed Tsushima today, I would feel the same way as I did when I played Yotei just a few months ago. But that being said, video games are about feelings, okay? They're not about analyzing and whatever. No, it's about how you feel when you play the game, okay? And I played Ghost of Tsushima 6 years ago, and I was 18 years old, and it was the best fucking game ever. So maybe I've changed. You know what? Maybe I've changed and the series hasn't changed, and that's why it's in the C tier. Next up, God of War 2018. I've only played 2 God of War games. I've played God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. God of War it's a great series. It is a pretty great series. I think 2018 is probably the best PlayStation game that I've played. possibly. It's going in the S tier. And I mean, do I need to give context on what this game is? I feel like when it comes to the very popular games, I don't need to explain what God of War is. I think you know what God of War is. God of War, to me, is about as perfect of a movie story video game that you can get. I know I said that about the first Last of Us, but I think that God of War is better than that game. And I feel like Kratos as a character is probably the most interesting protagonist that we've had in one of these PlayStation Studio games. I mean, he's just the coolest motherfucker in the world. And to see him progress, I mean, you know where he was in the original games, and to see him progress very naturally, I feel like, throughout the duration of this game is really, really good storytelling, in my opinion. And the way that they were able to mix Kratos into the story of Norse mythology, I thought was also really cool. I don't really, like I said, I haven't played the original Greek games. I know sort of what happens, but I can't really speak on how Kratos fits into Greek mythology the way he does in those games. But I think, I mean, this game, the combat is super fun. Exploring is pretty good. It's not a super giant game, like a, you know, Breath of the Wild size type of game, but it's still a very big game with a lot of content, a ton of fun boss fights, definitely like Souls-like inspired combat, but a bit more aggressive, a bit more punchy, and it's really good. I have nothing bad to say about God of War, other than the only critique that anyone's really ever given to this game, and it's that the boss fights are repetitive and reused a lot in this game, which, you know, it kind of is what it is. I mean, sure, do I wish there were more boss fights, but it doesn't, you know what I mean? Which, oh, I'm gonna get some shit for this. I know I was glazing God of War and saying how good of a series it was, and the next game's God of War Ragnarok. Now, I don't think God of War Ragnarok is a bad game. I do not. It's kind of similar to my feelings of Ghost of Yotei, but it is better than Ghost of Yotei, so it's going in the B tier. Now, this game does offer more than God of War 2018, but I do feel like the story of this game is worse, in my opinion. I feel like the characters are kind of worse in this game, whether they're new characters or even some of the returning characters. I feel like I liked them more in God of War 2018, and I just feel like, well, I'll say this: there are multiple playable characters in God of War Ragnarok. You play as Kratos and you play as Atreus, and Atreus fucking sucks to play. His story missions are ass, and playing as Kratos in this game is good, but the way I think about it, the way I feel about it is, I feel like God of War 2018 was such a good story progression for Kratos, such a good character progression for him, that by the time you get to Ragnarok, there's really not much you can do with the character, I feel like. But the game really focuses on Kratos, but at the same time, he's kind of going through like the same character arc that he's already gone through in 2018, in my opinion, where it's like, oh, I don't want to fight these gods. I don't want to do this anymore. Blah, 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 blah. I don't have humanity. Now I'm going to get humanity type of deal. And they kind of try to redo that again in God of War Ragnarok, but because they already did it once, it doesn't hit as hard, and it's also not as good, in my opinion. I also do think villains in this game, some of them kind of fall flat for me. I think Odin was kind of just okay when he could have been amazing. I think Thor was good when he could have been like fucking one of the best villains in video game history, if they would have like, they stuck the beginning really, really good, and then they kind of really tampered and fell off towards the end, in my opinion. But this game's still fun. I still recommend it if you played God of War 2018. It's got a lot more content. It's got more boss variety. It's got more weapon variety. It's got more to offer gameplay-wise as opposed to God of War 2018, but I really think the story carries 2018 really hard, and I love it a lot. Okay, I'm going to jump around a little bit. What game should I talk about next? Let's talk about some Atlas games, shall we? You didn't see that coming, did you?
You never see it coming.
let's talk about Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. So Persona 5, I played in 2000. When did Royal come out? 2020? So I played Persona 5, and then about 9 months later, Persona 5 Royal came out, and I played them basically back to back. I only separated them in the tier list because technically they're two different games, but for those who have never played, Persona 5 Royal is literally just a better version of Persona 5. Like, imagine like the game's like a third longer of all just excellent content. All the gameplay systems are better, the combat's better, the social mechanics are better. Everything about it is better. I literally just separated them because I've played them separately. And I'm going to put Persona 5 at the top of A tier, and I am putting Persona 5 Royal at the absolute very top of S tier. It is fucking incredible. Realistically, the only reason Persona 5 is an A tier as opposed to S tier is because Persona 5 Royal exists. For those who've never played Persona before, it is a JRPG series that is... what do I even say about it, honestly? It is one of the best looking games visually, not in the same way that like The Last of Us or God of War or Ghost of Tsushima is beautiful, but these super incredible stylized anime adjacent graphics and art style in these games, and it looks incredible. Like, playing the game, it's Persona games are the closest games that you can get to playing an anime, in my opinion. And I'm a fucking weeb, a little bit. I'm a little bit of a weeb. I love One Piece. You can see my straw hat right back there. Also, these games are fucking insanely long. Like, it took me 88 hours to finish Persona 5, and it took me 108 hours to finish Persona 5 Royal, getting the platinum trophy. And that was a game that I kind of already played a little bit. But that being said, it is one of my favorite video game experiences is playing Persona 5, both of them. The story is a ton of fun. The combat is really, really good. I enjoy turn-based combat, but it's not my favorite. I'll never be yippee hoo-ha for some turn-based combat over some like good action-based combat. But that being said, I do think Persona 5 Royal specifically has turn-based combat the best in any game I've played personally. That or like Paper Mario or something, which I'll get to a little later. But like I can't gush about these games enough. I'm kind of at a loss for words about it. They're just such good games. They deserve. Persona 5 Royal deserves its spot at the very top of S tier. Another Persona game, another Atlus game. We have Persona 3 Reload. Oh, I didn't even mention the fucking soundtracks. Yeah, Persona games have the best soundtrack in anything ever, period. Any movie, any TV show. It's better than your favorite album even. Fuck it, I don't care. Persona music is incredible. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Persona 3 Reload. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Yeah, I'll put it in the B tier. So Persona 3 Reload is a remake of Persona 3, which is a PlayStation 2 game I've never played, and I don't really know the differences between the two games, but it's kind of interesting. Persona 3 Reload, I believe, came out in 2024. Persona 5 Royal came out in 2020. And to me, the gameplay of Persona 3 Reload seems pretty stripped back from what was in Persona 5, and maybe that was to keep with the original and be more aligned with that. But after playing Persona 5 and then going to Persona 3, it did feel kind of like a step in terms of gameplay, and that includes the combat and like the social links and that type of things that you do in those games. The story was really good. I don't know which story I prefer, 5s or 3s. I probably 5. 5 has definitely stuck with me more, and I think I like the characters and the villains of 5 more. Yeah, I like the story of 5 more. Yeah, especially 5 Royal. 5 Royal is really good story. But I know that Persona 3 has like the fan base like favorite story, so that's probably a little bit of a hot take. I apologize. But once again, banger fucking soundtrack. Maybe even a better soundtrack than Persona 5 Royal, which is kind of crazy to say. Would recommend it if you're a fan of the series. If you play 5 and you want some more Persona, pick this one up. But if you are a not fan of anime or anime adjacent games, or playing as a high schooler in school and then doing creepy shit in the nighttime, there is another Atlus game that I think is going to be for you, and that is Metaphor ReFantazio. Metaphor is a game that really, I feel like, kind of flew under the radar. It's not as popular as Persona, but it's kind of just as good as Persona, if not better in some ways. I think for certain it is the best story of any Atlas game I've ever played. If you are a fan of fantasy, stuff like, you know, anything, if you're a fan of fantasy, you will like this game, I think. It is very similar structure-wise to Persona games. There's a calendar system. You go through day by day. You have social links, confidants that you talk to, and you do missions with them or for them. And you also have a combat section where you go to different areas and you clear out like dungeon type-esque areas. And Metaphor is, as I said, story-wise, pretty far in a way my favorite. Like, I would say maybe aside from God of War that I already ranked up here, it's probably my favorite story of all the games I've already talked about, which is pretty high praise because, I mean, I'm saying I like it more than The Last of Us stories. And I don't really want to get into spoilers because I've avoided talking about spoilers for every single one of these games because at the end of the day, unless I outright say it, I do recommend that people try games out for themselves as opposed to like getting their opinion from someone else. And I don't really want to ruin that for you. I kind of want to give a little bit of explanation of what you would get into if you did try these games, but I don't want to like spoil the fun for you. But I also want to talk about it in a way that's engaging to people that have played the games and they want to hear someone else talk about them. So Metaphor, for me, incredible game. But there is a but there. In terms of combat, it is slightly different from Personas. It's still turn-based, but they have some different systems where Persona is kind of like a Pokemon type of deal where you get different personas and you use different personas against the enemies. And Metaphor kind of chooses like a class-based type of thing where there's like 20 different classes that you unlock over the story. And, you know, you can build your characters up each way. And I really think it's kind of like a, which one do you prefer more? I don't think one is outright better than the other, but I do prefer Personas over Metaphors. And also, and I hate to say this, the fucking, and please spare me. Please spare me. I've been glazing this game this entire time, but I have to mention this. This game might have the singular worst final boss and by extension final area of any game I've ever played ever. Now, I don't want that to scare anyone away from playing this game. I absolutely 100% recommend this game. And maybe it was just a me experience. Maybe, I don't know if this is a universal thing, but the final boss of this game was so horribly unbalanced. Story-wise, it was amazing. The fight itself was unbelievably horrendous for me. It was so bad that instead of putting it in the S tier, that if it would have kept the quality up for the entirety of the game, I would put it in. I'm going to put it at A tier. I'll put it right next to Persona 5, the original. I'm not ranking these ranking them within their own tier. I don't think. Maybe I will later. I don't know. But it is legitimately that bad that when I think about this game, it's kind of like the first thing I think about, which really sucks because this is a pretty long game. It took me like 70 or 80 hours to beat, and that final like 5-hour stretch was so unfun for me that it's something that I can't take out of my head. So yeah, Metaphor is going in the A tier. Absolutely recommend it. It would probably be in S tier in everyone else's tier list, but just because of my personal experience, I put it down there. And in general, I feel like boss fights in these Persona, you know, adjacent games aren't like my favorite. I prefer like, here's my thing with turn-based games, right? When they're too easy, they're boring. When they're too hard, they're utterly frustrating and annoying. And I like it when it is in that perfect medium of not unbelievably hard, but still difficult, but also not super easy where I can just kind of press one button and go. And I feel like Metaphor was probably one of the better balanced Atlas games that I've played up until the end, but also the boss fights just in general wasn't a big fan of them in Metaphor. But once again, that's just me. I could see other people having a different opinion about it. Let's go to, I'm just gonna start picking it fucking random at this point. Let's go with Among Us. I don't know why I put Among Us here. I'll put Among Us in the I'll put it the T tier, I guess. It's Among Us. Like, what do you want me to say about Among Us? I played it a few times with some friends during the pandemic, and it was fun. It's, for what it is, it's exactly what you'd want from it. It's not anything more. It's not anything less. It's Among Us. It's Among Us. How about Fall Guys? Another game that's kind of just like I'll be honest, I don't like battle royales, and I'll talk about that a little bit later with another game. And Fall Guys might be my favorite battle royale. It is so silly and just ridiculous and pretty fun, but at the same time, it didn't really grab my attention for any longer than like 30 minutes at a time. But while I played it, I had fun playing it. So I really have nothing bad to say about Fall Guys. I think I'll put it in the C tier. Beat Saber. I have an Oculus VR headset. What is it? The VR, what is it called? What the hell is it called? The white one, the Quest 2. I've played it so little, and I think Beat Saber is the only game that I've played for it because I don't really like VR. I learned so, but I will say Beat Saber is pretty fucking sick. My Oculus is a Beat Saber machine when it's on, and it hasn't been on in probably at least 2 years. But Beat Saber is fun. Every time I get on there, I'm like, damn, that's a pretty good game. That just reminded me, I don't have Guitar Hero listed. Oops, I'll add that later. But yeah, it's Beat Saber. If you've played Beat Saber, you know about Beat Saber. If you haven't played Beat Saber, watch literally one video about Beat Saber. You'll understand Beat Saber. Super Auto Pets. I don't have much to say about Super Auto Pets. This is gonna be the first I don't know category. Not that I don't really get it. I just didn't play it that much. And I liked it, but I was never super into it. It's going in I don't know. Same with Dead Cells. I'm gonna put Dead Cells in the I don't know category. I never beat Dead Cells. It was fun while I played it, but I didn't play it enough to get a full opinion on it. One day I'll go back to it. Matter of fact, let me add some more I don't knows off of this list. Let's put in Ori and the Blind Forest going into the I don't know category. Doom 2016, never beat Doom 2016 is going into the I don't know category. And maybe I'll add a couple more later, but let's have some fun, shall we? Let's go over to Nintendo. I've been talking a whole lot about PlayStation. Let's go back to Nintendo, and with the main Nintendo mascot, Super Mario. Let's start with the first Super Mario game that I've ever played, that I ever owned, I should say. Not the one that I ever played, but the first one I ever owned. Super Mario Odyssey. Where's Super Mario Odyssey? This is what happens when you make a tier list with like over 100 things. You just get kind of lost. Do I not have Super Mario Odyssey on here? Am I smoking crack? There we go. What the hell was wrong with me? There's Super Mario Odyssey. I think it's time we add another game to the S tier. Super Mario Odyssey is an unbelievable game. It is so much fun, and for it being my first Super Mario game, a little bit of a spoiler alert, I think I kind of got spoiled because there really hasn't been one that's quite matched it for me. It is just the epitome of is that the right word? It is just the definition of a fun video game. It does not overstay its welcome. The capture mechanic with Cappy is super unique and super fun to play with. It's fun to experiment. It's fun to try to find skips. It's fun to just explore, solve different puzzles, find little moons hidden anywhere that you could find, any little crevice, any little door behind. It's just, if you've played Mario Odyssey, you know. Mario Odyssey is just, it's that fucking game. It is that good, and I haven't played all the 3D Mario games, but I will be shocked if there's one that I like more than that game. Next up, let's do Super Mario Maker 2. I'm gonna put that in the B tier. It's Mario Maker. I definitely prefer 3D Marios, I think. Mario Maker 2, it's Mario Maker. I'm doing terrible right now trying to explain, but everybody knows what Mario Maker is. It is a Mario game where people can go on there and make custom levels, and you play the custom level Mario games. It's as simple as that. I've never made a level personally because I don't have a creative bone in my body, but I think it's cool. I think the single player mode is pretty cool. I think it was pretty cool, but I really don't have much more to say. It's a very straightforward game. Next up, let's talk about Super Mario Galaxy. So this is the most recent, no, it's not. It's the second most recent Mario game that I personally played, and I'm going to put it in the A tier. I don't quite like it as much as Odyssey. I do understand why people love Mario Galaxy so much. It is a very, very fun game. I do think Super Mario has progressed past Galaxy. I do think Odyssey is kind of a better game, in my opinion. I do think that the circular, planet type of level design in Galaxy is really unique and really cool. But to me, that doesn't matter that much to me. I think it's cool, but it's not like a super enhancing experience playing on these circular levels as opposed to like playing on like a flat ground like you do 99% of all the other Mario games. But it's fun. It's more than fun. It's really, really good. Also, amazing soundtrack as well. All the Mario games have amazing soundtracks. It's what is it? Gusty Galaxy or whatever. Oh, play that. I will shed a tear. And then last Super Mario game I have here is Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. I'm not going to make any friends with this one. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I know. I know. This is like a lot of people's favorite game ever. This is a lot of people's favorite Mario game. And to me, I just kind of thought it was okay. I do like it more than Mario Maker though. Like I said, it was just okay. Let me backtrack that a little bit. It is a good game. For me, I played it at 23 years old. And if I would have played this game when I was like 11, I would probably had that nostalgia binded to it and been like, this is the best fucking, this, oh my gosh, I remember being young and playing Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door for the first time. But then playing it as an adult, it is very charming. It's cute. It's a visually really nice game. I think the combat is pretty cool, even though the game is way too easy for me. Once again, I'm an adult playing the game, so there's that. I thought the story was pretty fun. Seeing Bowser's character was pretty funny. But overall, for me, one, I do think the game was too long for me, and I don't think it gave me a lot. I didn't take a lot from it. Honestly, it's kind of one of those games where I beat it, I played it, I enjoyed it, but I don't think about it very much, and I don't really care to play any other Paper Mario games. If they made a new one, I maybe would try it out, but I'm not super I wasn't as into this one as everyone else was, but I do still think it's good, so I was going in the B tier. I just realized I'm wearing these headphones for no reason. I'm not listening to anything. Also, I'm wearing a beanie indoors because I got a little self-conscious after my Resident Evil videos and how my hair looked, and I still haven't gotten a haircut since, so sorry about that. I know I look ridiculous right now. I'm wearing a jacket too. I look like the damn theater thug right now.
Where's the money?
What?
This is a holdup. You give me the money, I ain't playing.
Whoa, just take it easy, man.
Let's talk about Slay the Spire. This is another game that's not going to get me any friends. I'm going to put it also in the B tier. I like Slay the Spire. I think it's good. I like it maybe more than Paper Mario. Maybe. I don't know. Slay the Spire, for those who have not played it, it just recently got a sequel like within the month. It's a card game, sort of card game, roguelike, mixed with, oh no, I just heard that. Somebody just screamed their ass off outside. Where you go through like a dungeon type levels and you get new cards and you basically make a deck, and it's, I'm very poorly explaining this, but I understand why people love this game a lot. I beat one run, that's it, so I guess I didn't get the true ending of the game or whatever. I did one run and I was like, you know what, I'm fed. I've eaten everything that I want from this game. I don't need to play it anymore. I get it. It was fun. It's going in the B tier. I think I have a couple more roguelike games that I'd like to get through. And wow, am I realizing that maybe I just don't really like roguelike games? Because Hades is another one that a lot of people would love. A lot of people would instantly put in S tier, but I'm also going to put it in the B tier. Yeah. Hades is another one that is also really good. I like Slay the Spire more than Hades, but it didn't stick with me. I just did one run. It didn't stick with me. I completed one run, I should say. I didn't just like die immediately and then stop playing and never talk about it ever again. No, I completed a run, and I thought that by the time I was done with it, I was just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Like, I would never slander either of these games because that's not my place. I do think they're properly rated, and I do think they deserve to be as popular as they are, but maybe they're just not kind of my thing. But that being said, I have one more roguelike game to talk about, and it's Balatro. And Balatro is fucking A tier. Balatro, it's so funny because I was a Balatro slanderer at one point. I remember 2024 Game of the Year awards. Balatro was up for Game of the Year, and it is a poker roguelike. Yes, you play poker by yourself, and you try to get an amount of points based off how good your hand is and based off a bunch of different buffs and bonuses. And it looks so just simple and boring in gameplay. And I was like, how the hell is this up for Game of the Year? Like, this is like sitting next to like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Astro Bot and like all these incredible games. I've never played Astro Bot, but all these incredible games. How the hell is Balatro up there in that category? Like, what? So it was on sale on Steam shortly after the Game Awards, and I was like, you know what? It's like $15. Let me play it. If I hate it, it is what it is. And I was glued to my chair for 5 hours. This is an unbelievably addictive game. A truly unbelievably. It is really one of those games where you watch it if you've never played it and you're like, why is this game so popular? Like, why do white people love this shit and playing it on their Steam Deck all the time? But then you play it and you really understand, wow, okay, I get it. It is addicting. Number go up is very fun, and I think it deserves all the praise and then some. It's really good game. I've probably have like 50 hours in Balatro. I've beaten the game with every deck. I've done all the challenge runs except for one, the Jokerless run. That fucker has eluded me still. But it is, I got my money's worth and then some and then some and then some. I just found something else to talk about in the I don't know category. Warframe. Warframe is a game that I got. I downloaded it and I tried it as soon as I got my Xbox One because after buying the console, I have no money left, so I had to play free game. And Warframe was there for me when no one else was. And Warframe, like I said, it's in the I don't know category because I really can't speak to Warframe very much. I played like a few missions. It was fun. It looks cool as hell. The movement is super satisfying, but like I didn't dive in deep enough to even really give a proper explanation of what the game even is. So another one for the I don't know category, BioShock Infinite. I never beat BioShock Infinite. I liked it a lot when I did play it, but this was, gosh, I had to have been 12, 13 years old, and it was a lot of fun back then. I believe I got it like on a free oh, you have Xbox Live, play BioShock Infinite type of deal. And I remember really liking it, being confused by the story, kind of having a crush on Elizabeth a little bit, but I never beat it. And I know that this game is very controversial amongst BioShock fans, and there's a lot of jokes and feelings towards the story that a lot of people don't really like it, or they think it's just it's too pretentious and it's just not good. And I know that there's like, you know, time skipping and time altering and multiple timelines, and that does give me the ick a little bit and making me want to ever try the game again. But I will say there is another BioShock game on this tier list, and it's BioShock 1, and that is an easy S tier. BioShock 1 is an incredible game. Incredible. I've talked about some amazing video games, and I put BioShock over a lot of them. BioShock, it took me 8-10 hours to beat, and it is such engaging world building, such engaging storytelling, environmental design, just characters, visuals. This is a game that came out in 2006, and because of that, it is visually dated, but the art style lives on. The art style of this game, the art direction, is incredible. It is scary. It's not a horror game, but it is super moody, and it keeps you on edge throughout your entire playthrough, in the same vein of like a Resident Evil. And I really do not want to give anything away about this game. If you have never played BioShock, please give BioShock a chance. Despite how old it might look, despite, you know, the fact that sure, the gameplay has not aged very good, it is still an S tier video game that I think if you are a fan of video games, you owe it to yourself to play BioShock 1. I haven't played the second one. I already spoke on Infinite, but BioShock 1 is a hard recommend if you have never played it. Wow, I still have a lot of games to talk about. Oh, shit. Splitgate, that's going to go in the I don't know category. I barely played that game. Oh, I forgot about Shin Megami Tensei 5. That's also going into the I don't know category. That's another Atlas game. It is what the Persona series spawned off of. So Persona is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei, and Persona ended up actually getting much more popular, so it kind of became its own thing. Persona became its own thing, and then eventually they were like, hey, maybe we should like go make Shin Megami Tensei again, and they did. And I tried it. I didn't get super far into it. It's funny, I played like 8 or 10 hours, and that's not me even scratching the surface. And I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I didn't continue on with it. But I can't really speak on the quality of it because I don't think I gave it a super fair chance. Get a little silly, shall we? Nicktoons Attack of the Toy Bots. Does anyone remember this game? This was like, when I was thinking of this video idea, I was like, what are the most random games that I can think of from my childhood that I played? And this was one of them. Nicktoons Attack of the Toy Bot. I don't even remember what this game looks like. I don't even remember how the game plays or anything, but I just remember playing the hell out of this game and thinking it was the coolest, fucking sickest, most fun game ever. I know you play as like different Nickelodeon characters. You play as SpongeBob. I can see on here you play as like Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron. Is that Tack? I don't even know. I can't even see it. And there's like robot versions of all of them, and you're killing the Clanker version of like SpongeBob and stuff. And like, I think Ren and Stimpy is in there too. Like I said, I don't remember how this game plays. It's going into the I don't know category, but it's so funny that I remembered it. And I'm like, Damn, I kind of want to see that game again. I kind of want to play it again. Similar vein, the SpongeBob movie game. This is a game that I also never beat, but I did play a lot as a kid, and I do have very vivid memories of this one. And I remember getting my ass beat in this game. I never beat it because there was like a level where you are playing as SpongeBob and Patrick, and you are riding in a bathtub, and you're like having to steer this bathtub going down a hill. It looks like the Grand Canyon. And I could never beat that level, so I never beat the game. But it was a lot of fun. I have a lot of memories with it. Do I want to rank it or do I want to put it in? I don't know. I'll put it, you know what? Fuck it. I'll put it in the C tier. Why not? For the funsies. Ooh, here's a good one. Another game for the I don't know category. Nier Automata. So I played Nier about maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and it was free on Game Pass, and I gave it a shot. And I liked it, but I never played it again. I played it for a couple hours or whatever, and I don't remember it like at all. So I think Nier is going to be the next game that I play for the channel. I think I want to make a playthrough video on that game because it is one that I do think I'm going to like a lot, and I'm very excited to hop back in it. I've had it on Steam for years, just waiting for a good excuse to play it. So I think that might be the next game I play. I don't know. I have a few that I want to choose from, but that one's certainly one of them. Very high on the list as well. It's probably going to be the next game I play. Oh, another roguelike I missed, excuse me. RoboQuest. This one's a very like Hades, Slay the Spire, Balatro are very popular games. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about RoboQuest, and I do think RoboQuest is quite good. I'm going to put it right next to Slay the Spire. It is a first-person shooter roguelike where you get different weapons. Think like Borderlands, but in a roguelike version, and that's kind of what RoboQuest is. And I'll talk about Borderlands a little bit later, but that's a very, very important series to me. So mixing those two together, I think RoboQuest is a pretty fun roguelike game. And I do think that, honestly, no, it doesn't deserve to be in the A tier for me. But I do think it's a good game. If you are a fan of roguelikes and you haven't played RoboQuest, or even if you're a fan of like first-person shooters, looter shooters, stuff like that, and you haven't played it, give it a shot. It's pretty underrated in my opinion. Persona 5 Strikers. I actually don't know who made this game. I don't think this is by Atlas. It's a spinoff of Persona 5. It's going in I don't know category. I didn't play it too much. Uh-oh. Let's get controversial, shall we? Black Myth Wukong. Now. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Going in the F tier. Here's my thing with Black Myth Wukong, okay? I bought into the hype. When this game came out, it was so giant. It was so unbelievably popular. It had like over 2 million concurrent players on Steam, and it's a single player game, which is like unbelievable numbers. And it was a Souls-like by Not FromSoft, and I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. I believe there are 6 chapters in the game. I did the first 3 chapters, so I guess I got halfway through the game, and I cannot say there was any moment in the game where I was having fun. I did not enjoy the game at all. I thought that the story was basically non-existent. I thought that the level design was okay. I thought the combat was okay. I thought the boss fights were not good. I thought there were some elements to the exploration that I thought were really bad. And F tier is harsh. F tier, when you think of F tier video games, you think of like the worst video games ever made. I don't think Black Myth Wukong is one of the worst video games I've ever played or ever made. But for me, it's not very often I purposefully drop a video game. It's especially one that I pay $60 for. It's not very often where I'm like, you know what, I'm done playing this game. I'm not having fun. And I don't want to play it anymore. And Black Myth Wukong is an example of that, where I played it, I got halfway through it, and I was like, you know what? No. Like, I regret spending my money. I wish I had my $60 back. I do not want to play this game anymore. So for that reason, it's going in the F tier. There's not a lot of games that I've played that I think are just like utter trash. Like what are some examples of like some horrible video games? I don't even know because I only play games that I think I'm gonna like. You know what I mean? Or think that I might like, even if I'm not too familiar with it. And Black Myth Wukong was one of those things where I was like, I think I should like it. I like Souls games, but it didn't land for me at all. So it's going in the F tier. If that's harsh, I'm sorry. Here's some fun games to talk about. Split Fiction and It Takes Two. Hazelight Studio games, very popular video games, 2-player co-op video games. You can't play it any other way. I played them with my girlfriend pretty recently, and they are both excellent. They are both going. Split Fiction I like slightly more. I'm gonna put Split Fiction in the A tier, It Takes Two. Ooh, do I put it A tier or like the very top of B tier? I'm gonna put it at the very top of B tier for now, and I might, you know, put it up depending on how the list goes. But both of them are incredible games. If you have a friend, if you have a partner, if you have someone to play these games with, especially in person, they are super worth it. They are a ton of fun. They are, in terms of like 3D platforming, I would say It Takes Two is more of a 3D platformer. The other one's like more of like an adventure game. Split Fiction is. It's really unique. There's a ton of different mechanics. It kind of reminds me a bit of Mario Odyssey, where you'll like take control of like, you know, you'll get this power up and all of a sudden you have to like use this to hammer certain things down. And when you hammer this down, you got to make your other partner go up high into the sky. I'm explaining it very poorly, but It Takes Two, Split Fiction, they're kind of cut from the same cloth. But I did prefer Split Fiction slightly, and the ending of Split Fiction is truly one of the most unbelievable sequences I've ever seen in a video game ever. It was blowing my fucking mind playing the ending of that game, but I'm not gonna spoil it. I want you to play it. Yes, you. I want you to play Split Fiction with someone, because you can't play these games alone, which I think is good. I think it's cool that there are games that will commit to that and only be 2-player games. It would be kind of fun to be able to play this game solo, but at the same time, I completely understand why they would do that, and I'm super into these games, and any Haze-like game that comes out in the future, I will be purchasing, because they are very good. Let's talk about some multiplayer games, shall we? So in my adult life, in my later years, I'm super old, by the way. I'm a curmudgeon. I'm 23 years old. That's a joke. I'm not old at all. But when I was a lot younger, I was really into multiplayer games. They were my favorite. And now I don't really vibe with multiplayer games at all. I don't really get excited for new multiplayer games. I know a lot of people are hype off of like Marathon and Arc Raiders and stuff like that. And to me, I have no real interest in hopping into those games. Maybe if I had some friends, just in general, no. But if I had some friends that were like really pushing me to hop in and try it, maybe I would. But multiplayer games for me just don't hit. And one multiplayer game that came out pretty recently that I was just not into was Marvel Rivals. I'm going to put Marvel Rivals. You know what? Let's talk about Marvel Rivals, and let's talk about Overwatch. And let me talk about Overwatch first. Overwatch, when Overwatch came out, it was 2016, and I was super into it. This was at my peak of loving multiplayer games, and I also think this might be the game that ruined multiplayer games for me, because I was so hooked and so addicted to playing comp, and I was a Roadhog main, I was a Reinhardt main, because no one ever fucking played tank, and I was hard stuck gold. I ended up getting a platinum, and then the placements happened, and then I got back in gold, and then I quit the game. But Overwatch now, it turned into Overwatch 2 at some point, but now it's just back being Overwatch. I think is overhated. A lot of people shit on Overwatch, especially after Marvel Rivals came out, which is very strange, because as someone who's played both of them, Overwatch is like kind of way fucking better. Like really, like I know I kind of was shitting on Overwatch and saying that it kind of ruined multiplayer games for me, but I think that's more of a personality thing than a game quality thing. I truly can casually have fun with Overwatch right now, and I don't like multiplayer games that much. And so just for that, I'm going to put it in the B tier. I think it's super unique. I think it's super just interesting how there's so many different play styles in this one multiplayer game, and it works as well as it does. And to bunny hop off of that into Marvel Rivals is a copy of Overwatch. It just kind of is. And that's fine. It's cool because it's Marvel characters, but at the same time, I think it's a copy, and I also think it's worse. So for that, I'm going to put it in the D tier. I don't care about Marvel Rivals. I don't really ever care to play it ever again. I didn't get super into it. I played some games with my friends, and every time I played this game, I was like, you know what? I kind of wish I was playing Overwatch right now. So maybe that's the Overwatch fanboy in me a little bit, kind of going defending my guy right there. But Marvel Rivals, I have zero interest in. Matter of fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be toxic. Let's put it in the F tier. I don't care about Marvel Rivals. I'm sorry. Next up, let's talk about Fortnite. So if you've never heard of Fortnite, I don't know sign language, but clearly you're deaf, because Fortnite is literally bigger than Jesus Christ. Don't assassinate me for saying that. I remember when Fortnite came out. I remember when Fortnite before the BR mode came out. It was like an indie game where like I think you played like you hold the fort down to get some zombies or something. I don't really know. And then when the BR came out, I was like super hyped because I never played a BR and I really wanted to. It was free and I was like, hell yeah, brother. I'm gonna download this shit and I'm gonna play it and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then I realized I don't really like BR games. I don't really like games where I have to go in and I have to take time to set up and get lucky, and sometimes you get killed instantly and then you got to reload and it's like and then there is a lot of luck based into it. There's certainly a lot of skill. I would say it's like 90% skill, but there is a little bit of luck into it, and for me it's just not a very satisfying loop, going in, looting, and then trying to win the big gold. So for me, here's the thing. I've tried other BRs slightly, and of like the shooter the shooter BR games, I think Fortnite is my favorite. But that being said, I don't like BR, so I'm gonna put it in the D tier. I'm sorry. I won't slander Fortnite. If you like Fortnite, I think that's dope. Me personally, I feel like I've been too negative. Let's get positive again, shall we? You know what? Let's do it. Resident Evil. Oh, Resident Evil. I for those who don't know, my first videos on this channel have all been Resident Evil. I'm literally a Resident Evil channel right now because that's all I've posted so far. It's not going to stay that way. I'm going to do some other stuff. But the first Resident Evil game I ever played was Resident Evil 8 Village. Bam. Hello, Chris. So when I first played it, it came out in 2021. And for those who don't remember, 2021 was a very dead year for video games. Like, I assume mostly because of COVID, not a lot of stuff came out in 2021. And Resident Evil was a game that came out that year, and I was just looking for a game to play. I had zero interest in Resident Evil. I had zero interest in horror games. But I wanted to try it just to feel something, just to feel what a new game felt like, because I haven't felt that in a while. So I gave Resident Evil Village a shot, and I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. Now, that being said, I did have problems with it way back then that in retrospect, I don't think would bother me as much. And if I replayed this game, which I don't know if I will, maybe someday, I will probably replay this game. Actually, I would maybe like it a little bit more, but for now, I'm going to put it in the B tier. I think it's a good game. From everything I remember, I thought the setting was incredible. Still, maybe my favorite setting of all the Resident Evil games I've played. Maybe that's a stretch. I don't know if I stand on that. But I thought the villains were really good. I thought the graphically the game looked amazing. I think the protagonist, Ethan Winters, kind of sucked. At the time, I thought the story sucked, but at the same time, I kind of didn't really understand what was going on because I'm playing the 8th game of an installment of a series I've never played, which it wasn't even the 8th game. There's like the fucking 50th game. But I will say, at this point right now, I will not slander Resident Evil Village because I really can't speak on it too much. I'm due for a replay on this one. The next Resident Evil game I played a few years later, probably 2020, I put it in 2025 actually. So 4 years later to play another Resident Evil game was Resident Evil 4 Remake. And Resident Evil 4 Remake, what do I gotta say about it, man? It's incredible. It's one of those legendary games I've heard about basically my entire life, and it ended up getting a remake, and I ended up getting it on sale for like $20, and it was a steal at that price because it is just one of the most fun video games. Capital F-U-N, fun video games. That it feels endlessly replayable. It feels like I could hop in right now and have a ton of fun with it. It has a fun DLC, great characters, a fun story. Just I have nothing bad to say about Resident Evil 4. I'm gonna put it towards the top of A tier, and I might move it up. I do like it more than The Last of Us. I will say that. Next Resident Evil game I played is Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 was a game that I was a little scared of. I remember when it came out, horror games, icky, yuck, don't want to play them. And I knew that it was a horror game. I knew that Resident Evil 4 was kind of seen like as the action one, and Resident Evil 2 was like the scary one. And for that reason, I held off. But then I enjoyed 4 so much, and I knew that I was going to play 9 when it came out, that I felt like I had to do my homework a little bit and play Resident Evil 2. And thank God I did, because Resident Evil 2 is incredible. It is very, very good. I would say I almost like it just as much as Resident Evil 4, but I don't. That would be a lie if I said that. But I do think it is super, super fun. It is going into the A tier. In Resident Evil 2, for someone like me who doesn't like horror games, it was kind of a little bit of an aha moment when it came to horror. And I'm not very well versed in the genre, but what I can say about Resident Evil specifically and why I like it so much is I personally don't like easy games. When a game is too easy, it gets really boring and pisses me off, and it's just like, what? It's just like I'm playing on autopilot, and it gets very boring for me. And the thing is that I don't think I pretty sure I played all these on the standard difficulty, maybe on a harder difficulty. I honestly don't remember, but I've never really been super challenged in a Resident Evil game up until this point. But because of the horror and because of the atmosphere and because of just how intense the enemies feel, I am never bored when I'm playing Resident Evil. Even if the game is super easy and I've only died a couple times. Hell, in RE9, I probably died on, well, actually, I think I died quite a lot in Resident Evil 9, but that's besides the point. The intensity being there is such, it grabs your attention, and it cannot let you go. And that's what makes Resident Evil so good for me. It's not one of those games that you can just idly play. No, for me, it grabs me and I am hooked. And that being said, I have one more game to talk about, and it is Resident Evil 9. The last one I've played, the most recent one I've played, the second most recent game I've played. I'll talk about the other one later. Resident Evil 9 for me, is joining an elite club. It's going right up there in the S tier. It's my favorite Resident Evil game. It's one of my favorite first playthroughs of any game, and I do think partially that is because I recorded it and I put it on YouTube, and I was able to make some fun videos out of it, and I'm able to relive that experience, immortalized in this channel forever now. And I think that's very, very special for me personally. And on top of that, it's just a fun ass game. It is scary as hell. And in the time of me playing the game, I was freaked out and I was stressed out, and I wanted to run away in real life. But in retrospect, the horror parts of Resident Evil 9 are just masterful. They are incredible, and they are so just enthralling. Like, there's no other way to explain it. And the way that they were able to give this game two protagonists, Grace Ashcroft and Leon Kennedy, you know, separating the horror and the action sides, I think they did that honestly perfectly. Like, if you are a fan of any Resident Evil game, I think you would be a fan of this game. And let me, because everyone gives Leon his credit, he deserves it. His parts of the game are super fun, but I really gotta say, Grace's sections of this game and Grace Ashcroft just in general as a protagonist, I think is super underrated, and I think it is so good. I cannot stop gushing about this game. It came out a month ago today, and it's kind of been one of the few things I've thought about in the past few months. It's just so good. It's so good. It's my front runner for game of the year, and I don't know if anything will tip it off, but you know, GTA 6 allegedly is coming out this year, so we'll see. Okay, I've been dreading this one. If you look down at the bottom half of this list, you'll see about 500 Call of Duty games. I'm gonna blow through them, and I'm gonna quickly talk about Call of Duty. So hopefully I put timestamps in the description for all of these games. If I did, good. If I'm not, I'm sorry for being lazy. But let's start. Call of Duty 4, I barely played it. Didn't play the multiplayer really. Only played it with like 1v1s with my friends on split screen, D tier. By the way, never played a Call of Duty campaign in my life. I would like to someday, maybe. Next one, World at War, kind of the same deal, except this one has zombies. So this one did introduce zombies, and zombies is my favorite part of Call of Duty, period. So I'm gonna put World at War in C tier. Next game I played, I didn't play Modern Warfare 2. I just went straight to Black Ops. Black Ops 1. I'm gonna put top of B tier. Once again, never played the campaign. I heard the Black Ops campaign is really good, but the zombies mode is excellent. The multiplayer is really good, and because the only reason this is in B tier is because of future entries in this series, like Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is going in the A tier. In best multiplayer, oh shit, I just realized I'm blocking the A tier. Overwatch has been there this entire time. You can't see it. No. no. Hopefully that's a bit better now. What was I talking about? Black Ops 2. Yeah, Black Ops 2. Incredible zombies mode. Just for those who've never played a Call of Duty Zombies, it is truly, if you were deep into it like I was back when it was like still releasing and still like actually good, it was honestly one of the most unique gameplay experiences you could have. And I know that's weird to say about Call of Duty because it's fucking Call of Duty, but if you know, you know. And you also know that the peak of Call of Duty Zombies was Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3, right next to its brother, Black Ops 2. The reason I have it in the same tier is because I think the Black Ops 2 multiplayer is better than Black Ops 3, but both deserve to be in A tier. Black Ops 3 Zombies. Next up, oh, I skipped Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare, C tier, I guess. Actually, no, I'll put it in B tier. It's kind of underrated, honestly, in my opinion. Call of Duty World War II, also a little bit underrated, but I also kind of don't really care. So, C tier. Black Ops 4, don't care about Black Ops 4 at all. D tier. Kind of ruined the zombies. Well, they didn't ruin. It kind of sucked a little bit. The zombies kind of sucked, and the multiplayer was kind of not that good either. D tier. Yeah, no, D tier. That's fine. Modern Warfare 2019. Call of Duty, what's the next one? Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, also D tier. I don't care about that game either. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, because they made 2 Modern Warfare 2s. That's also D tier. I don't care about the game. And Modern Warfare 3, the second Modern Warfare 3 game, because, you know, that one's a little bit better. I'll put it in C tier, I guess. Okay, I think that's every Call of Duty, okay? I wanted to bang through that fast because it's Call of Duty and you know, it's Call of Duty. Another for the I don't know category, I'm going to put Celeste in there. Celeste, for those who don't know, is like a platformer indie game that is very popular and very good, even though I never beat it and never even really got close. It's very hard. It's fucking, it is hard as hell. It is hard as hell. I am dog shit at platformers. So I forgot to mention that with like Mario and other games. I am terrible at platformers. They're like my worst games, but I still like them. But I'm horrible at Celeste, and that's probably why I never beat it. Cuphead. Oof. I never beat Cuphead. But I've played it quite a bit. I always drop it. I don't know why. I honestly think it might be a skill issue. Because the last time I played Cuphead, I got to the robot boss, which I think is like pretty far into the game, maybe like 75% through the game, and I just stopped playing it. But I think that Cuphead is a beautiful video game. I think it deserves to be as legendary as it is. I hope it gets a sequel one day. And it's also probably the hardest fucking video game I've ever played in my entire life. So I feel disingenuous putting it in A tier just because I haven't beaten it. So I'm gonna put it in B tier? I'm gonna put it in B tier instead of A tier. Yeah. Cuphead's in B tier, but it's low key an honorary A tier. Just remember that. But I'm putting it in the B tier. Let's get some friend slop out of the way, shall we? If you call video games like this friend slop, like unironically, I just assume you don't have friends. For those who don't know, friend slop is kind of like a term used for like indie games that are meant to be played with your friends that aren't very deep or anything, but are a good time for a little bit if you just want to hang and chill with your friends at Discord and talk and blah 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 blah. So I have a few of those on here. First up, let's do Liar's Bar. Liar's Bar is a game where you play poker mixed with Russian roulette, sort of, and it's kind of poker a little bit. I don't know how to explain it exactly. It's like a card game that you play with your friends, and if you lose a round, you play Russian roulette and you try not to kill yourself, basically. It's pretty fun. I've played it a few times. I'd put it in the C tier. Mage Arena. Mage Arena is the single funniest game ever made for like 30 minutes. And then you play it longer than that, and you're like, there's not much here, actually. I'll put it in the D tier. But it is funny as hell. For that first initial 30 minutes, if you've played Mage Arena, you know. Lethal Company. Lethal Company is pretty damn good. I'm gonna put Lethal Company in the B tier. Once again, horror scared me, but Lethal Company, it was a really fun game. It's a very simple game. You are on a ship, you land on a planet, you're with your friends, there's proximity chat, and you go out onto the planet to find materials to bring back to your ship to then sell for currency, all while monsters try to sneak up on you and kill you. And there's different type of monsters, and they are scary as hell. And the art style and the art direction of this game certainly enhances the scariness, because it looks kind of like it's like a CRTV almost in gameplay form. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. But Lethal Company is a very good friend slop game, if you want to call it that. I would recommend it for sure. It's scary, but it's also funny as hell. Peak is probably my favorite one of these games. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Wow, I have it in the same tier as God of War Ragnarok, Cuphead, Hades, and Slay the Spire. Wow, okay. Maybe this tier list is trash. Peak is a game where you play with your friends, you have proximity chat, and you climb up a mountain. That's what Peak is, and it's a fun video game. Damn, my voice is kind of going away. Shit. I'm gonna get through this. Let's do Sonic Unleashed. I never beat Sonic Unleashed, but Sonic Unleashed was pretty formative for me in my childhood. I would watch like music videos with Sonic Unleashed gameplay. And I thought it was the coolest fucking thing in the world. And I played the game, never beat it. Another skill issue situation where there was like a level where you play as Tails and you are in like a plane and you have to like destroy a bunch of Dr. Robotnik's enemy airplanes. And to do that, you had to press like a face button. So like this would be like square, X, triangle, circle. And you basically had to like go through it in that way and destroy them all. I sucked. I fucking sucked, so I never beat the game, and that's what stopped me from beating the game. So because of that, I have to put it in the I don't know category. No, I'm not. Actually, it's my list. I'm gonna put it in the B tier because it is super fucking cool. And even though I've played a lot of Mario games at this point, like 10 times more Mario games than I have Sonic games, I always feel like I'm gonna be a bit more of a Sonic fanboy, and that's just because of Sonic Unleashed and how formative it was for me. Let's go to some more childhood games. Let's go with, here's a fun one, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Hey, you know the company that made Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei? You know what they were doing like 20 years before that? They were making fucking Peak. They were making Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, and that's going in the A tier. Sly Cooper is probably the game from my childhood most, like early childhood, like that I still feel like if I played to this day would be a very good video game. I can't say the same thing for Sonic Unleashed or Attack of the Toy Bots or the SpongeBob movie game or some other games I'm going to talk about in a second, but I really feel like Sly Cooper is a game that I could play right now and have fun with it. It's so charming, it's funny, it's the story is fun, the villains are incredible. There's moments from this game that I haven't played this game in fucking 15 years at least, that I still remember seared into my brain because it was just that memorable of an experience. So it's got to go in the A tier for me, man. Sly Cooper 2 though, never beat it, never even got close. It's got to go in the I don't know category. I'm sorry, it's a bit of a failure on my part, and there's also 2 other Sly Cooper games that I've never even touched. So maybe one day I'll hop back in and I'll play all of them, especially if they make a new one day, which I hope to God that they do. The Legend of Spyro. This is one that I've been waiting to talk about. The Legend of Spyro is a reboot of the Spyro games. You guys know Spyro. Spyro's like he's a little purple dragon, and then you ride a skateboard at some point in those original games. I didn't play them very much, so they're not on this list, but they rebooted the Legend or the Spyro games, and they made it The Legend of Spyro on PlayStation 2. And the Spyro the Eternal Night, which is the second game of the trilogy, is my earliest memory of playing video games ever. And I thought that Spyro was the coolest thing ever, forever and ever because of it. I don't really remember the story of these games, honestly. I pretty vividly remember the Eternal Night because I'm pretty sure I beat it a couple times, and there are certainly some moments and sequences that I remember. But also, just out of curiosity, I looked up the IGN score for this game, and IGN gave this a 3.6. IGN, you know, the company that gives everything at least a 7, gave this game a 3.6. So I don't know if that means that like IGN just fucking hates this little purple dragon shithead, or if this game is just truly awful and I only liked it because I was a kid. So I really can't speak on that. But just for nostalgia, I want to put it at the B tier. The first game in the series, A New Beginning, I didn't play until way after I played Eternal Night. I played Eternal Night for the first time when I was like 5 years old, and I played The New Beginning when I was like 12. So this one definitely didn't hit as much for me because I was a little bit older. I'll put it in the C tier though because it was still fun when I played it. And Dawn of the Dragon, I never beat. That was the final game in the trilogy. It's a lot moodier, even more than the previous two, and there's like a bit of a time skip, and it's kind of weird. It kind of threw me off when I played it, and I didn't really like it, so I never finished it. But, you know, that's enough of talking about games that literally no one has ever played ever. Hollow Knight, I don't know category. Sorry. I tried playing Hollow Knight 3 different times, and I stopped each time for various reasons. The first time I wasn't into it. The second time I got distracted. The third time got distracted again. I was never really into Metroidvanias up until one game that I'll talk about later that I'm now realizing I didn't put on this list. Oops. But you know, one day I'm gonna give this game a fair, honest try, and you know, I'll hopefully like it. Hopefully one day I'll like it. I have to change what's on this TV back here because it gets very bloody, and I don't know what's been playing behind me this entire time, but hopefully there wasn't a lot of blood and stuff. But I cannot play this match. I just wanted something interesting for the background, so it's not just me and a bunch of cardboard boxes laying around. So I had to put on some YouTube videos. Sorry, just some wrestling. Speaking of wrestling, that's a perfect segue to talk about some WWE games. Now, WWE I've been a fan of wrestling, professional wrestling, my entire life, and I only have one wrestling game on here. Just count them all together. I've played like 5 or 6 different ones, but they all kind of live in the same vein in my head, even if there are slight differences between them. I'm gonna put it in the C tier. They're fine video games if you're a fan of wrestling. They're even pretty fun if you're not, just to like fuck around and beat up your friends or whatever. But they're not like super deep. They're not like, they're not peak. You know what I mean? I would be remiss to put it up here with like some actually like really good games up here. So C tier is fine. That's where it goes. Doom: The Dark Ages. So it's so weird. I love first person shooters, and I love everything about them. I love shooting shit in video games, and Doom is that. Doom is that. But for some reason, Doom has never clicked with me. I tried Doom 2016, dropped it, didn't really play Eternal, and then when The Dark Ages came out, I was like, you know what? It's going to Game Pass. Let me just give this a shot. Let me see if I like it. If I do, that's great. If not, oh well. It was free with Game Pass, and I beat it. Didn't really like it. I thought it was okay, and it's so strange because I feel like this game it looks like me. This game looks like me. This is a me video game, but it just did not hit. The soundtrack, it was like metal music, and it was like super hard, but it also for some reason felt just so flat. The art direction was like very like Souls-ish, you know what I mean? Like that sort of style. I mean, that's why it's called The Dark Ages. But like there was nothing really super memorable about it. Like I played this game like a year or two ago whenever it came out, and I barely remember it. And I thought the gameplay, this is where I'm gonna get a shot. I think the gameplay for Doom is just okay. I think it's just okay. I don't think it's as satisfying as everybody says it is. But there was one weapon in this game. It was like a chain gun, where like it was like a chain, and there was like a metal ball attached to it. That gun was really fun to use. But this game didn't hit for me. I'm going to put it in the D tier, honestly, right next to 5 Call of Duty games and Fortnite and Among Us and Mage Arena. Portals 1 and 2. Portal 1, I would say is B tier. Portal 2, I would say is better. I would say it's an A tier game. If you've never played Portal, they were very, very, very popular when they came out, and I don't know if they really had any like staying power in like the video game culture, internet culture, where I feel like everyone knows Portal, right? But I don't think people really talk about Portal that much. I beat them both pretty recently, like a few years ago. And Portal 1 took me like 2.5 hours to beat, and Portal 2 took me about like 4.5 to 5 hours to beat. They're pretty short games, but they are really, really fun puzzle games. I don't think they're super challenging, but once again, I don't know. When I first tried to play Portal 2, I couldn't beat it because of skill issue, and I was like 11. So playing it as an adult, maybe I had that advantage, but they're really fun. You take the portal gun, you make portals, you walk through the portals, and you're like, whoa, that's crazy. How the hell does that work? And then you beat the game, and it's a lot of fun. And the story, the second Portal game is a bit more story focused than the first one, and it's better for it. I think it's really good. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. PS5 Ratchet and Clank game made by Insomniac. We'll talk about some more Insomniac games as well. These Spider-Man games over here. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, when I first played it, I absolutely loved it. And then I kind of forgot about it, I'll be honest. It was one of the games where I was like listing out all the games that I could remember by looking at my Steam and just kind of like remembering. It was one that took me a while to remember, even though the year it came out, it was probably my game of the year. But once again, came out 2021, very dead year for video games. Visually stunning, gameplay fun, story was pretty cool, I guess. But like, I can't really put it any higher than B tier. I feel like, you know, it's a good game. It's a good game. It's worth it, especially if you can find it on a sale. But you know, I can't put it over, you know, any of these other games, honestly. Spider-Man 2018 by Insomniac Games is gonna go in the B tier also. More lower. I like Ratchet and Clank more. I'll be honest, man. I think the Spider-Man games are just a little bit overrated. Like, just a little bit. I feel like the people that rant and rave about Spider-Man games and how good they are also people that have like never played a lot of other video games. Like, I feel like if you've played a lot of video games, you kind of see what Spider-Man is and you kind of understand it and you understand why it's popular, but you also understand that like it's just kind of okay. Exploration, the open world is like whatever. It's New York. It's fine. The story is good. You know, it's Spider-Man shit. And if you really love Spider-Man, I like Spider-Man. I wouldn't say I love Spider-Man, but I like Spider-Man. You know, it's a fun story. It's really not much more than that. The combat is okay. You know, the web swinging is amazing. It's just, I will say this, Spider-Man probably has the single best traversal system of any game I've ever played. But that being said, it's to me, it's just kind of good, not great, not amazing. It's just kind of good. Spider-Man Miles Morales spinoff is going in the C tier because it is shorter, it's worse in every way. It's C tier. I don't think it's worth playing, honestly, at all. Actually, matter of fact, I might put it in the D tier. In 2026, I don't think Miles Morales is worth playing because not only is it just kind of a worse version of Spider-Man 2018, but Spider-Man 2 also has Miles Morales as a playable character, and everything about that game is also better. So just fuck this game. You know what I mean? Just go play Spider-Man 2. And also, Spider-Man 2 is another game I didn't put on this list for some reason. Oops. Boom, there it is. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is gonna go also in the B tier, right next to Spider-Man 1. Same kind of deal. It's just okay. Villains are worse, honestly. The story is also, I honestly don't even really remember the story for either of those games super well. Venom is cool though. I like Venom. Playing as two Spider-Man, pretty cool also. So I'll put it right next to its brother in the same tier. I know a lot of people generally think that Spider-Man 2018 is like way better than Spider-Man 2, but I think they're both kind of similar in my head. Everyone say hi to Noche. Hi Noche. Say hi Noche. You might hear him pittering around in the background, but you know, it is what it is. Gosh, I got some big boys to talk about. Let's talk about Cyberpunk, shall we? Cyberpunk is going straight up in the S tier. Yep, basic take, probably. But Cyberpunk is an incredible game. Similar to The Last of Us 2, when it came out, super controversial for a completely different reason. The state that the game came in, it was super buggy, super glitchy. I ended up getting a refund from PlayStation because of it, and I ended up playing the game many years later because when the game launched, it was inexcusably bad, just in terms of performance and just the state that it launched in. But the game itself is incredible. One of the best RPGs I've ever played. One of the best open worlds I've ever played. Incredible story. Amazing DLC. Probably a top 5 DLC that honestly brings it from the A tier to the S tier for me. Just incredible. Incredible. I have nothing bad to say. Actually, I have a little bit bad to say about Cyberpunk. I do think the shooting is a little undercooked. It doesn't feel as good as other first-person shooters in 2020 and games that came before it. I do think that it felt a little bit dated in terms of the combat, but that's like a nitpick at the end of the day. I still think the game is amazing and absolutely worth playing if it seems like your thing, and even if it doesn't, give it a shot. The other, oh my gosh, CD Projekt Red game that I've played, The Witcher 3. Me and The Witcher 3, we got a little bit of history, okay? So I played The Witcher 3 many years ago. I hated it. I was a hater. I was a Witcher hater. I was like, this shit sucks. I was like, and do you know why I thought it sucked? Because I don't. I was kind of in my contrarian phase a little bit. I was like 16, and I wanted to be bold, I guess, and be like, oh, The Witcher 3 sucks. The Witcher 3 doesn't suck. I played it last year, at the beginning of last year, gave it a full honest try, and I'm glad I did because it is incredible. That being said, I did play it in 2025. It is a game that came out in 2015. and I definitely felt the 10-year date between me playing the game and it coming out, because it did feel old. It did. In a world of big open world RPGs kind of just like being as popular as they are, The Witcher 3 does feel pretty dated compared to a lot of them. And if I had given this game a nice good try when it came out, and I also wasn't like 13 years old and I would have been like 20 or something when it came out, I think it would very easily be in the S tier, but I'm gonna put it in the A tier. I think A tier is a very good place for The Witcher 3. I think it's a very, very good game. I would recommend it with an asterisk, you know, because of how dated it feels. But I do recommend it, but I do like Cyberpunk more. But that being said, I am very, very excited for The Witcher 4. It is probably my most anticipated game, even though it doesn't have a release date currently. Man, I was kind of saving the best for last. I apologize. Let's talk about some Borderlands, shall we? So I kind of briefly talked about it a second ago. Borderlands is the single most important video game franchise for me personally, and in 2026, that's a little embarrassing to admit, but I'll talk about it as I go. Borderlands 1 is going straight in the A tier for me. And let me be the first to say, Borderlands 1 is not aged good. If Borderlands 1 came out in 2026, it would be considered a terrible video game just because of how much it's aged. But I'm so nostalgic for this game that I can see past all its flaws and take it for what it is and still have a ton of fun with it, because Borderlands at a base level is just a fun video game. It is just so fun to run around, find new weapons, new shields, new class mods, try out all the different characters and play through this game 100 fucking times and have a unique experience each time. Like, Borderlands is always fun for that. And Borderlands 1, while gameplay wise is certainly the worst, I'll be honest, the nostalgia is what's bringing it up to the A tier. It really is. Now, let me talk about Borderlands 2, the first Borderlands game I've ever played. That is a very, 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 very easy S tier for me. Borderlands 2 is the most important game for me I've ever played. It's kind of the game that made me a gamer. You know, I played games before it, but never like to the level of Borderlands 2. I was obsessed with this game. I have thousands of hours in this game. I have beaten it north of 50 times, I would say, and it's what got me kind of into watching YouTube, watching people play Borderlands, watching guides, watching playthroughs, watching whatever. Everything Borderlands related, I was into it, and Borderlands 2 is not only that, but I do think, as opposed to Borderlands 1, I think it has aged pretty good. I don't think it's perfect in the way that it's aged. You know, it's certainly not up to par with modern, first-person shooters, but I do think that if you played this game, whether solo or with a friend this year, right now, you'd still have a lot of fun with it. I think the story is actually pretty damn good, as opposed to some other entries in this series, which we'll talk about in a minute. I think the characters are really fun. I think, once again, just the Borderlands looter shooter gameplay is always fun. I'm going to say that with every game in the series. Borderlands at a base level is just fun. And Borderlands 2 is my favorite, and it will always be my favorite because of just the nostalgia, the memories I have with that game, what that game did for me, and it's always going to be right up here for me, and it's gonna stay there forever. Even if the game is not perfect, it is far from perfect. It is legitimately, Borderlands 2 at its end game might be the worst balanced fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's kind of unbelievable, but that's besides the point. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is the pre-sequel. It is a game that, well, it came out after Borderlands 2, but story-wise takes place in between Borderlands 1 and 2, and it's a funny thing where it's a story where, like, you're not the main protagonist. You play as a Vault Hunter and you play the game and whatever, but it's kind of for the story of Handsome Jack, who was the main villain of Borderlands 2. So this is kind of like his origin story, if you will. It's not as good as Borderlands 2, I would say. I would say it's B tier. It's certainly fun. Once again, Borderlands at a base level, always fun. Borderlands 3. Ooh, okay. So Borderlands 3 it's a complicated game for me. I remember just being in the trenches, like, bro, I cannot wait for Borderlands 3. It between Borderlands 2 and 3 was a 7-year wait, and I felt every single second of that wait where I could not wait any longer for a sequel to Borderlands. There was a point where I legit thought this game was never going to come out, and it came out, and I liked it. But holy hell, does it have problems. It is one of the worst written games I've ever played, honestly. Like, not even in terms of like the story and the plot and the progression of that, which isn't good, but just the silliness and just the downright cheesy and honestly embarrassing writing of and dialogue in this game is it's kind of unbelievable that this game launched the way that it did. It's like an adult game, a mature game, rated M for mature game, that feels like it was written for children. Like, it feels like it's for like goo goo gaga babies, like fart poop humor. Like, and it is so unbelievably unfunny and just dreadful at times to sit through some of this dialogue and sit through the story of this game, which in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel was like pretty damn good. And the gameplay is better. The gameplay is better. And once again, Borderlands, always good at the base level. But at the same time, in 2019, I don't think it quite cut it in terms of gameplay. I don't think it was as good as it could have been. And I think that the story fell flat. I think that I didn't talk about the DLCs for these other games, but all the Borderlands DLCs, pretty much all of them are pretty good. And I think Borderlands, the roster of DLCs that we got for Borderlands 3 were also pretty good, but I can't. I'm gonna put this at like the top of C tier. That's Mario Kart Wii. That's not Borderlands 3. I'm gonna put this at the top of C tier. I can't put it any higher than that. Gameplay's better than the previous games, but at the same time, everything else around it is worse. So that makes the experience worse. So there's that. And last but not least, actually this isn't last but not least. We have a couple more games. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This is a spin-off Borderlands game. It's not worth playing, honestly. It's like Borderlands 3 gameplay. They like try to be a little bit different with it, where you don't have specific named characters and instead you make your own character, which is pretty cool, but it kind of didn't really work in my opinion, surprisingly, even though that seems like something that would be perfect for Borderlands. It just didn't really work. The story was okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's C tier. It's fine. I don't think it's worth playing in 2026. Just play any other Borderlands game, honestly. Tales from the Borderlands is going in the I don't know category. That's a Telltale game. For those who don't know, they made like The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, one of those decision-based games. I played the first episode, remember liking it, didn't play the rest, so I can't really speak on it. But last but not least, actually this time, Borderlands 4. It came out last year. It came out about 6 months ago now, and it is good. It is a good video game, but once again, I think that the story, while much, much better, the writing, the characters, all better across the board in this game, I still think it is average. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. I think it's average, or another word, mid. I think it's kind of mid. And I think that, once again, I'm going to say it. I said it every time. Borderlands, at a base level, it's fun. But Borderlands 4, for a game that came out in 2025, does feel dated in the aspects of where it tried to revolutionize Borderlands. So Borderlands is not an open world game. It's an open zone game, kind of. So there's like side missions and you can like choose to kind of like go this way or go that way or whatever. But Borderlands 4 took the Breath of the Wild approach, where it is one giant landmass and you are going to go out and explore, and you are going to find these little areas and these little dots and explore the world for yourself, and maybe find a side quest on the way and whatever. And I think that Borderlands does not need that. It did not need that, and I'll be honest, it might even be worse for that, because the game ran like shit. The game didn't look that good, honestly. Like, I love the Borderlands art style, but I'll be honest, I think Borderlands 3 and Borderlands 4, they're almost doing too much, to the point where I like the graphics of Borderlands 2 the most. Maybe that's just me being nostalgia pilled a little bit, but Borderlands 4, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to explain my feelings. I think Borderlands 4 made me realize that I'm never going to get the Borderlands game that I want, and them trying to be different and trying to be bigger and better kind of ended up just making me realize that compared to other games, Borderlands is a little bit behind the curve in some aspects when it comes to things like exploration and just being an open world game and stuff like that. I feel like I'm explaining it very poorly if you haven't played the game, but if you have, maybe you share the sentiment that I do. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I think it's a good game. Borderlands, always fun at a base level, but would I recommend it? I don't know. Maybe. I do think maybe with some updates and after all the DLCs and stuff are out and blah, 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 it'll be like a super great game, especially if you can find it on the Steam sale. But right now, I think it's good. Not much more than that. Let's talk about Mario Kart. Mario Kart 64. It's Mario Kart. Mario Kart to me is kind of okay. I'm going to put it in the C tier because it's Mario Kart. Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart Wii is Mario Kart. So it's Mario Kart. Never really been super into Mario Kart. I think it's okay. I'll put it in the C tier. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's Mario Kart. Never been super into Mario Kart. I think it's okay. I'll put it in the C tier. Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is Mario Kart, I would say, and it's just kind of okay to me. It's never really been super my thing, but it's fun. So it's Mario Kart. So I'm gonna put it in the C tier. So that's Mario Kart. That's the Mario Kart series, the Mario Kart games that I played. Let's move on to Pokemon. Now, I love Pokemon. You see it? You can't see it because my big fat ass body's in the way. But Eevee's right there. I have a big Eevee plush. I got a whole bunch of shit. I got some cards. I went to Japan last year. I never talk about that, by the way. And I went to like 4 different Pokemon centers. But I didn't play the games until I got a little bit older. My first Pokemon game, the one that I'll talk about first, is right here. Pokemon Omega Ruby. And I'll say this, I kind of forgot about this game, but looking back on it, I had a lot of fun playing this on my 2DS. Not a 3DS, I had a 2DS. And like, something about Pokemon being on a handheld makes it better than the console versions. I don't know why, even though the Switch technically is a handheld. I don't know how to really articulate that in the way that I want to, but I feel like Pokemon fans kind of understand what I mean when you can kind of write off the fact that, oh, Pokemon's it's a handheld game. It doesn't have to be super graphically incredible. It doesn't have to be this, it doesn't have to be that. It's a handheld game, and for what it is, it's kind of perfect at what it is. And that's kind of what Omega Ruby was for me. It was everything I wanted out of a Pokemon game that I've always wanted to play but just never did until I was like 15 or 16, and I really enjoyed it when I played it. I think, do I want to put it in the A tier? Yeah, I'll put it in the A tier. Why not? I'll put it in the A tier. The game I played after that was Pokemon Sword, which is also not popping up here. What the hell? Another game that I'll be honest, I have pretty good memories with. I was super hyped when it came out. I was hyped for it to be on a home console. Finally, Pokemon. Do I think the game is that good? No, but I'm still gonna put it in the B tier. I had a lot of fun with it when it came out, so I really can't fault it. Well, yes, I can. I'm lying. I can fault it. I don't think the game's perfect. I think there's a lot of problems with it, and I think there's a lot of problems with a lot of Pokemon games. But we're talking about feelings, okay? We're talking about feelings, and I felt pretty good when I played Pokemon Sword for the first time. If I played it right now, it'd probably be a little bit lower, but back then I had a damn good time with it, okay? So next up, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I don't know why I forgot this game existed. It's so weird because I remember playing it and having a lot of fun with it, but I don't remember it. I beat the game too. That's the fucked up thing. I beat it. I played it. I liked it. I remember some moments from the game. I don't remember the story at all. And it's kind of messed up because there's a lot of people that would say this is the best Pokemon game ever. And it just flew right out of my head. So I would have put it in the I don't know tier, but I beat the game. So I feel like I have to say something, but I'm going to put it in the B tier. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I feel like if I played this game again, I would like it. So I'm going to put it in the B tier. Next up, Pokemon Violet. I'll be honest, I played this when it came out, couldn't do it. I'll be honest with you, Pokemon Violet might be the single ugliest fucking video game I have ever seen in my entire life. I cannot believe that it came out looking the way it does and that it still looks like that to this day. It is horrid. It is so ugly, and I could never get past it. So I quit playing it, and then I got it on my Switch too because they like up the resolution, up the frame rate, whatever, and it still looked like shit. It was horrible, and I once again could not get over it. Sure, it ran smooth, sure it was at a high resolution, but it was so ugly. And also Gen 9 for me is probably my least favorite generation of Pokemon, just in general, in terms of the roster, in terms of the legendaries, in terms of like everything. So I'm putting it in the D tier. Honestly, I do not think Pokemon Violet is that good. Even if they try to do some cool stuff with the open world that I thought was okay, I wasn't super into it. Pokemon Legends ZA. The newest sort of Pokemon game, we got another one to talk about in a second, but Pokemon Legends ZA is a fun game. I played it last year when it came out, and I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I like the changes that they made with the combat. I liked the Pokemon stuff, you know, the capturing, and you know, the having the Pokemon, you know, it's Pokemon, it's fun, it's Pokemon. But once again, it's another situation where like it could be so much better. All of these Pokemon games, except for maybe Omega Ruby, could be so much better. And that's really the problem with Pokemon, is the possibility for potential that's just never truly meant. That I think that hopefully, and Pokemon fans go through this every game, hopefully the next one they'll be able to finally get it and understand and make Wind and Waves to be a game that is deserving to be on the Switch too. But I don't know if it will be. I'm hopeful. I hope Wind and Waves is incredible, but I expect low and buy high for Pokemon, you know what I mean? Literally. But there's one more Pokemon game that we have to talk about. Pokopia. Pokemon Pokopia, the most recent game that I've played personally. I just beat it. And it's the best Pokemon game I've ever played, and it's kind of not even close. It is so damn fun. And I do not like here. Well, you know what? We'll get back to Pokopia. Where's Animal Crossing? Animal Crossing is right here. I think Animal Crossing is okay. I've never been super into cozy games, and I didn't really like Animal Crossing. I played it a little bit when the Switch 2 came out, and I was like, okay, you know what? I kind of get Animal Crossing now. I understand why people like it, but it was never really my thing. Now, back to Pokopia. Pokopia, ooh, I'm thinking about it. You see where I'm having it? You see that? I'm thinking about it. Let me rein it in a little bit. I'm gonna put Pokopia up here in the A tier, and I'll think about it. Pokopia, kind of like Balatro, is just so addicting. Every time I hop on, I can't get enough of Pokopia. It is so damn fun to just go around, look for Pokemon, make friends, build new habitats, rebuild cities, I can't get enough of this game. As soon as I get done with this video, I'm going to go back to playing Pokopia. I already beat it, but I want to make a whole island. I want to find every Pokemon. This is like the Pokemon game I never knew I wanted, but now that I have it, it's like, how did I live without this? Like, every Pokemon game that I play up after this point, well, this is the benchmark, okay? Is it as good as Pokopia? The answer from here on to the end of days will probably be no. I think we've peaked here, boys. I think Pokopia is the best we're getting, and for that reason, it's in the A tier and maybe S tier if I change my mind. It's that good. It's that good. It's number 2 game of the year for me, behind Resident Evil 9. So that's how damn good it is. Holy shit, I've been recording for over 2 hours and I still have a lot to talk about. Skyrim. I played Skyrim a lot, sort of, not really. I played like 15 hours. It's going into the I don't know tier. I don't have much to say about it, honestly. It's Skyrim. You ever play Skyrim before? It's Skyrim. Ooh, let's talk about Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm 95% done with Baldur's Gate 3. I probably have 3 missions left before I'm done with the game. It won Game of the Year 2023, and I truly think it deserved it. It is an unbelievable, incredible, fantastic game. The story's great. The character writing is incredible. The combat is a lot of fun. If it's considered turn-based combat, then it's probably my favorite turn-based combat I've ever played. That being said, I don't know why I'm about to do this. I'm about to put it in the B tier. For some reason, like, Baldur's Gate is this incredible game, and for some reason, there's just this little part of me that doesn't like something about it, and I don't know what it is. I played this game a lot, and I'm almost done with it, but for some reason, 1, I have no urge to finish it, and 2, I just, there's something about it. I don't know what, and it pains me to talk like this about it when I don't know what is, that just, it doesn't bring it up here to these other games for me, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a personal taste thing. Maybe it's I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe once I finish the game, it'll be up here, and I'm like, well, I'm a fucking idiot. Why did I put that in the B tier? But I don't know, man. Something about it. Something about it. Okay, I've been avoiding talking about these. Let's talk about some FromSoft, shall we? The first FromSoft game, first Souls game I've ever played was Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is a very easy A tier game for me. It is hard as hell. When I played it, I was horrible at it, but I never quit and I beat it. I beat it twice and it was a blast. It was one of the most memorable first playthroughs that I've ever had. I played it back in 2018, I want to say. 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. And I never played a game like it, and it was chef's kiss. I have a lot of love for Dark Souls 3. That being said, I played Dark Souls 1, except I kind of didn't play Dark Souls 1. It's going into the I don't know tier. I barely played it. That one might be a fun one to do for the channel one day. Even though I know a lot about the game, and I call myself a fan of Souls games, but like I've never, you know what I mean? I've never fought Ornstein and Smo. I've never parried Gwyn. I've never fought the Bed of Chaos. You know what I mean? So like, am I a Souls fan? I feel a little fraudulent for not really ever playing Dark Souls 1. So I'll play it one day. Bloodborne, though, I refuse to play until it gets remastered. Sekiro, another game that I kind of could have put in the I don't know tier because I never beat it. But I will say, Sekiro, I did get very far in. But, and this is a me thing, I played it when it came out in 2019, and I enjoyed it while I was playing it. But I remember the entire time of me playing it being like, damn, I wish this was more like Dark Souls 3, and it wasn't. And that was on me. I shouldn't have went into it with that mindset. I should have went into it playing it and being like, you know, it's its own thing. It's trying to be different. It's still a Souls game, but it's its own thing. And I didn't take it as that. I was wishing that it was something else the entire time, and that's on me. So I'm putting in the I don't know tier, and I will beat it one day. One day. When? I don't know. Elden Ring. Okay. Elden Ring. Here's my thing with Elden Ring. Elden Ring, to me, Elden Ring to me is it's the best fucking game ever made. It's Elden Ring. What the fuck are we talking about? Bro, like Elden Ring. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Elden Ring is in a tier of its own. It is an unbelievable video game. Like, I can't believe that this game is real and it exists and it's this good and it's this popular. Because here's the thing with Elden Ring. I feel like it's kind of a niche game. Not in the sense of popularity. It's a very popular game. But I feel like a lot of people that will pick up this game and play it and try it due to its popularity will drop it and hate it. But still, it is still such a popular, unbelievable, the best open world game, the best, my favorite combat in any video game ever, my favorite boss fights in any video game ever. It is just, I can't put into words how good it is. It's really, if you've never played Elden Ring, like, bruh, play Elden Ring. Like, even if you don't think it's going to be your thing, I think you're really missing out on something truly, like, it is the game of the 2020s. The 2020s are only halfway over, but it is the defining game of the 2020s, and it is one of the defining games of all time. I've seen lists of greatest video games of all time where Elden Ring is #1. And I think from everything that I've played, it deserves it. It's my favorite game of all time. Spoiler alert. I know we got some more games to talk about, but Elden Ring is truly, it is not overhyped. It is the real deal. It is where all of the praise, all of the awards, it deserves all of it. One more game to talk about, Elden Ring Night Reign. I'm going to put it in the B tier. For those who don't know, Elden Ring Night Reign is not a sequel to Elden Ring. It's kind of like a spin-off type of deal, a multiplayer co-op spin-off, where it's kind of like a battle royale, but you're battling, the enemies of Elden Ring, and you collaborate with 2 other teammates to fight a boss after you guys do this like BR journey. And once again, I'm not a BR guy, but I thought this game was pretty fun. I didn't play it a ton, but it was getting a lot of shit for not being Elden Ring. Elden Ring 2 or whatever when it came out. People had just unrealistic expectations of what this was. And for what it is, I think it was a lot of fun. I think it was quite a good game. And I could see myself going back in and playing it some more. Here's my thing with FromSoft and Miyazaki games. After Elden Ring, he can do whatever he wants. He can make whatever he wants, and I will put my trust into him. And even if I don't like it, that's okay, because he gave us Elden Ring. And I cannot ask for more than Elden Ring. It's like, it's gluttonous at that point to ask for anything other than that. You know what I mean? Like, we've got it. We have Elden Ring. We're good, bro. You can do whatever you want. You can make Duskbloods, and I don't know if I'll like it, but you can make it. That's fine. I'm okay. I got Elden Ring. I'll try your new games. I'll maybe like them. I maybe won't, but it's okay. You've done it, sir. You deserve to do whatever you want to do. Minecraft. You know what? I'm going to get two controversial ones out of the way. Minecraft, I'm going to say it like this. And this is going to sound harsh, but you need to hear me out. I have never once in my entire life had fun playing Minecraft. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I put that blame on other people because every time I've ever played Minecraft, it was never alone. It was always with someone, a friend or whoever, a cousin, whatever, being like, oh, we gotta go in. We gotta make a house. We gotta start getting sticks. Go pick up some sticks over there. Yes, go get those sticks. Yeah, we're gonna get the crafting table, and we're gonna use the crafting table. We're gonna make a pickaxe so we can start digging, and we can start harvesting crops so we can save them for the nighttime, and we can put them in our house. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing right now, man? You're telling me all this information. You're making it sound like a fucking chore. You're making it sound like homework. And this has happened every time I've ever played Minecraft. Okay, so can you understand why I've never had fun playing this game? And I'm just like sitting there chilling, being like, hey, what the hell are these Squidward looking dudes over here? Like, I've never had a fun experience playing Minecraft personally. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve all its acclaim and everything. I think it's great. You know what I mean? I think I love that for you guys. It's a very popular game. It's not going to be popular for no reason. It's just not a me thing. It's never been my thing. I have zero urge to really ever try it again. Maybe for a video one day, if that would be fun. But I'm gonna put it in, I don't know. Just because, like, you know what? Fuck it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be evil. I'm gonna put it in the F tier, and if anybody skips to the end of the video to look at the tier list, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Oh, hell no. Why is Minecraft in F tier? And then they're gonna be very confused, and then I'll laugh at them for not watching this part of the video. Another controversial take I have is Undertale. This one hurts more to talk about than Minecraft. I'm gonna put Undertale in the C tier. Undertale is a great game. It's just not for me. I played it and I thought it was good. But it wasn't for me, and I have nothing more to say than that. I thought the music was great. I think the art style was great. I thought the characters were fun, but just overall, when I was playing it, I'd never connected with it the same way that other people do. It's one of those situations where a lot of people would have it in their S tier, in their Elden Ring tier, but not me. I'm sorry. I love that for you guys though. Titanfall. Does anybody else forget that Titanfall 1 was like a real video game? I feel like everyone talks about Titanfall 2. I forgot about Titanfall 1, and because of that, I kind of want to put it in I don't know tier, but I remember playing it, so like I kind of want to put it in like the C tier. Titanfall 2 though, I did play quite a lot, but I never played the campaign. I played I'm lying. I played a little bit of the campaign, but like barely any. I don't even remember it. But I did play a lot of the multiplayer, and the multiplayer of Titanfall 2 was fun as hell. And this was kind of towards the end of me like not really liking multiplayer games anymore. So it was fun. It was really, really fun. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I would play Titanfall. If Titanfall, here's the biggest praise that I can give it as someone who doesn't really like multiplayer games that much. If Titanfall 3 came out today, I would play it. So say that for what you will. Oh, another controversial one, Devil May Cry 5. I played 75% of this game, didn't beat it, dropped it. Wasn't into it. I'm sorry. I tried. I thought the characters were fun. I didn't really know where the story was going. I kind of don't remember the story too well. It's so weird. It's another Doom the Dark Ages situation where I feel like I should love this game, but I just didn't. It might have been a wrong time type of thing where if I can maybe pick this up in a couple years and be like, dude, what the hell was wrong with me? This game's amazing. Right now, right this very second, my opinion of this game isn't favorable. I'm gonna put it, D feels too harsh though. I'm gonna put it in the C tier. I could see myself liking this game. I can't see me liking Black Myth Wukong, but I can see me liking Devil May Cry one day. Let's do, ooh, here's a fun one. Doki Doki. Every day I imagine a future where I can be with you. If you don't know what Doki Doki is, bless your heart, because minor spoilers here, it's not what it looks like. Doki Doki is one of the best horror experiences I've ever been through in my entire life. And I don't like horror, but this game enthralled me when I first played it and first learned what it was. I had a friend show me this game and I played through like the first act, just completely unknowing of what it was. I just thought it was this weird, cute dating sim, and I was also like 14 years old and a loser. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, this game's kind of fucking sick. Like, what the hell? Like, all these girls like me? Like, what? And then you play it and they're like, oh. And for that, it's at least B tier. Like, Doki Doki's fucking, it's really good. If you don't know anything about Doki Doki, don't look up anything. I'm pretty sure it's free on Steam. Give it a shot. There will be warnings at the front of the game. You should listen to those, listen to the warnings, and see if the game is right for you. And hell, record it, put it on YouTube. That'd be hilarious. Oh, I forgot a Call of Duty game, Black Ops 6, C tier, I guess. I don't fucking care. GTA 5. This is gonna be an amazing time to talk about because I've never beaten GTA 5. GTA 5 is going to the I don't know category, and yes, that is that's crazy that I've never beaten GTA 5. I don't even think I ever really got close. I do know the story pretty decently well. I could turn it into a video playing GTA 5. I think that would be pretty fun, but I do know a lot of the story. I know some cutscenes like the back of my hand, you know what I mean? But you know, I need to beat GTA 5 before GTA 6 comes out. It's kind of embarrassing that I haven't. Let's talk about Zelda. This is going to be the most fraudulent portion of this video, possibly. My first Zelda I ever played was Breath of the Wild. Yeah, let's put Breath of the Wild in the A tier, very top of A tier. It's fucking incredible. It's Breath of the Wild. Y'all know Breath of the Wild. It's one of those games that is considered one of the best games of all time, and it deserves it. It is that good. It deserves that and more. It's wow. It's Breath of the Wild. It's Breath of the Wild. I know that a lot of Zelda fans, there's a certain section of Zelda fans that don't like Breath of the Wild because they kind of see it as the game changing and being something that it wasn't originally. And that I can't speak on too much, as we'll get into. But I will say, and let's talk about Tears of the Kingdom. I'm also going to put it in the A tier. Or do I put it in S tier? No, I'm gonna put it in the A tier, but the very, very top of A tier, the both of them, because they're kind of interchangeable in a weird way, where I feel like overall the experience of Breath of the Wild is very solid throughout, and I feel like Tears of the Kingdom has peaks and valleys, where I feel like the best parts of Tears of the Kingdom are better than Breath of the Wild, but I also feel like the worst parts of Tears of the Kingdom are worse than Breath of the Wild. So take that for what you will. I think both the games are excellent, but that being said, I do want them to go a slightly different direction for the next Zelda game, whether it's still this kind of open world thing, but just somewhere completely different setting, and just make the game feel different and unique in its own way, because I can kind of feel the fatigue setting in on myself with these kind of open world games. It took me a while to beat Tears of the Kingdom because of that, even though I think the game is excellent. I put it very high on my list, but I do want something a little different from Zelda in the future. Now, speaking of Zelda, I got a couple more games to talk about. Actually, now that I think about it, I said Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda game I played. I think Majora's Mask actually was. I played it on my 2DS, and it's going into the I don't know category because I never beat it. Now, this was my first experience with like a roguelike, and if you don't know, Majora's Mask is a 3-day cycle, a 3-day in-game cycle, where you play the game, you progress through the game, and there's this like world-ending event that happens in 3 days in game, and at the end of the 3 days, the game ends. The game just ends. So if you fail, if you don't finish the game in that 3 days, the game's over. And at the time when that happened, and I noticed that happened, I just stopped immediately. I was like, I'm not doing all that shit again. Now, if I played it, I would probably, get into it and probably like it and really respect that move. Because like I said, it is a roguelike kind of, but it's also kind of different from other roguelikes. And this is also a game that came out in like 2000 or something. So I really respect this game. And I would like to try it and give it a good, honest try one day. Skyward Sword. Never beat Skyward Sword. Didn't get too far into it. Liked it. Didn't get too far into it. So I can't speak on it. This one, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. This and Black Myth Wukong are both games that I paid full money for and stopped playing because I said no. I do not like this game. I'm done with this game. And for that reason, I have to automatically put it in the F tier. I have zero interest to go back into this game. It looks like a baby game. It's so cute. It's so fun. But I cannot stand the way that this game is structured. It is the antithesis of everything that I like. And it is infuriating. I'm a grown man. I've been playing video games my whole life. As you can see by the fucking list, I've played a lot of video games. I am anti-God. If I'm playing a game, unless I've already beaten it and, I'm looking up some extra content or whatever, I do not look up guides. I don't go through games with guides. I'm not into it. I want the game to be able to explain to me or me figure out on my own how to get through the game. In this game, no. It does not do that. It is the most player unfriendly game. It is like Elden Ring, but 10 times worse. And I don't really know how else to explain it other than that. Which is funny because I put this in F tier and I put Elden Ring in S tier. But the way that this game is like you can only progress by talking to this random NPC who's going to give you an item. And where's this NPC, you may ask? I don't know. He's actually buried in a house, like way deep underground that you can only get to if you get this other ability. Well, where do you get that other ability? Well, if I know. And it's that the entire game. You are just perpetually lost forever, and not in a fun way like Metroid Prime, which is a game that I'm going to talk about in a minute, but in a completely infuriating, frustrating way where you just feel like you're banging your fucking head on the wall because you can't get past a level in this baby game. And I just have no interest or no patience for this game. And some people may be like, you know what, fuck you, that's a skill issue. Yep, it's a skill issue. I suck. I'll say it. I don't care. I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to play it. I will never play Link's Awakening ever again, ever. Helldivers 2, it's going in the I don't know category. I didn't play it that much. I didn't really like it. Final Fantasy 7. So I've never played Final Fantasy 7, the original, but I have played the 2 remake games, Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth. And I'm also noticing now I did put Final Fantasy 15 on the list, which is a game that I would have put in the I don't know category because I technically played it for a few hours, but that's besides the point. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, I'm going to put in the B tier. I played it when it came out, and for those who don't know, minor spoilers, the title of the game is kind of a lie. It's not a remake per se, as much as it is an alternate kind of timeline retelling of the story, where you kind of really need context from the original version of Final Fantasy VII to fully understand everything that goes on in this story, because it's like a fucky-wucky ass alternate timeline that's going on situation in both of these games. And I didn't know that when the game came out, so when I was playing it, I was pretty confused on what exactly was going on, and it kind of frustrated me a little bit with Remake. And I don't know. I'll say this. Let me say this really fast. Before I get back to talking about Remake, let me talk about Rebirth real quick. Because we have ourselves another S tier video game, okay? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is unbelievably good. And it was so good that when I first played Final Fantasy VII Remake, I would have probably put it in the C tier because I thought I was just okay with it. I was like, it was fine. I wasn't really into the story. I was kind of confused by it. I like Cloud. I think he's cool. I thought the gameplay was okay. But then Rebirth recontextualized and expanded the game in every direction, in any way that I could have ever dreamed or imagined, and it was truly just a fantastic experience front to back. And it is one of my favorite open world video games, period. And I think the story is so good. Now that I have a bit more context, even though I haven't played the original game, now that I have a bit more context of the story of that original game, it's a lot easier to follow, but at the same time, it's still difficult to follow, but not in an annoying way, but in a way that it's like trying to put puzzle pieces together and just awaiting the arrival of the answer of the third game kind of situation. And it really is gripping, and it keeps you on the edge, and the gameplay is so much fun. There's so many mini games. The combat is excellent. The boss fights are fun. The characters are great. I have nothing bad to say about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It was my game of the year when it came out. Well, sort of. I actually didn't play it until last year, but it would have been my 2024 game of the year But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake by extension are great, and I'm so excited for the final game of the trilogy. I will play the hell out of that on the channel when that comes out, probably sometime next year. The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is a Telltale game. I talked about them briefly before with Tales from the Borderlands. It's a decision-based game where that is the game. You are following a character and you make dialogue options for them, and the story goes in whichever way the dialogue lets you. It's not as choice-based as it makes it sound like. The story kind of typically always ends up the same way for everyone, other than like slight alterations to maybe the ending. But that being said, it's still a very fun story to follow. There's 4 seasons, and like I think 19 episodes total. I like the first 2 seasons a lot more than the second 2. I think the first 2 I think the third season is pretty bad. Third season is pretty bad. I think the fourth is okay. I think 1 and 2, especially 1, is really good. I'm gonna put them in the B tier. A lot of nostalgia with this game too. I was watching many a playthrough of that. But that being said, A Wolf Among Us, other Telltale game that I've played, is going in the A tier. The Wolf Among Us is even though the title is silly because it has Among Us in it and has been ruined because of that. This game is the Telltale game to me. Like, you should, if you've never played a Telltale game, play A Wolf Among Us. It is a game where fable characters are real. It takes place in the real world, and they use magic to kind of disguise themselves as humans, and they try to integrate themselves into the real human world. And you follow Big B, aka the Big Bad Wolf from A Little Red Riding Hood. This sounds ridiculous, I know, but you follow him and he's a detective, and there's like a murder mystery that kind of unfolds. And I don't want to give more than that because I really do think that you should play this game if you've never played it. I hope the season 2 comes out someday. The future's looking bleak for it, but Wolf Among Us is a very good game. I would definitely recommend it. Oh my gosh, I put Red Dead Redemption 1 on here and not 2? Okay, well, let's talk about Red Dead then. Red Dead Redemption 1, we got another game in the S tier. So Red Dead Redemption 1, I played after Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think that's the way you should do it, because Red Dead 2 is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1, and the story, the way that I played it in chronological order of the story events, is very, very seamless. It is honestly like, it's kind of like, feels like they had the foresight ahead of them making a prequel eventually from making Red Dead Redemption 1. But Red Dead 1 is just, it's one of my favorite video game stories ever. John Marston, one of my favorite protagonists ever. I love Westerns now because of Red Dead Redemption. And this story is just, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give any details of what happens, what unfolds. Even though in my Resident Evil video, I kind of made like a little joke about a spoiler in this game, but that's besides the point. Don't dwell on that. Don't dwell on that. And Red Dead is just like, it's one of those games that just is just kind of perfect. Like, Red Dead Redemption 1 is so good. Like, only if they could have made a game that was just bigger and like somehow have even better writing, an even better protagonist, even better characters just in general, a more immersive world to explore. And they did that with Red Dead Redemption 2. It's kind of fucking unbelievable. Red Dead Redemption 2 is going in the Elden Ring tier. I know that doesn't make sense, but it's just like, this tier up here is like the tier above everything else tier. Like, these 2 games live alone up there for me, where Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best story in a video game, period. And it is not close. It is not close. BioShock, amazing story. Cyberpunk, amazing story. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, amazing story. God of War, amazing story. None of them are touching Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is so detailed. This game is so just well written. It feels like it's like comparable to a book. Just the level of detail that everything in this story has. That it's kind of unbelievable how thousands of people probably worked on this game, but it still feels so personal, like such a personal story. And following Arthur Morgan, who is one of my favorite protagonists in media, period, is I can't speak highly of it enough. It is a must play. A must play. I don't care if you only play fucking puzzle games. Play Red Dead Redemption 2, please. It's that good. It's that good. All the acclaim, it deserves it. Tekken 8. I forgot all the Mortal Kombat games. Oops. Okay, I'll just say it now. Mortal Kombat is okay. There, I said it. I have nothing else to say about Mortal Kombat. Tekken, I never played the single player for Tekken 8, and Tekken 8's the only Tekken game I've played. But I think Tekken even though I didn't put much time into it, is like the coolest fucking game ever. I'm gonna put it in the B tier because I kind of feel like a fraud saying that because I have so little time in it. But if there was like one game that I wish that I could get good at, it would be Tekken, just because I think Tekken is so cool. I'm realizing now something happened with my tier list where like I added games to the thing, but they're just not showing up because like where the hell is Smash Brothers? There we go. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Ooh, we got another for the S tier. Oh, we're filling this S tier out. Smash Ultimate. If you gave me one game to play for the rest of my life, it very well might be Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I don't think I can get bored playing this game. I can have fun right now playing this game, and I can have fun playing this game right now if I were getting my ass beat. That's how you know that this is a good video game. I have so much time in this game. I'm not that good at it. Like I'm really not. It's kind of embarrassing how much time I have in this game to not be that good. But it's Smash Ultimate. It's the ultimate Super Smash Brothers game, and I honestly don't know if they can make one better than this one for me. Someone who is, once again, have a lot of time in the game and still kind of consider myself casual, and it is I love Smash Bros. I really do, and I have nothing else to say aside from that. We're dwindling down here, even though there's only a couple more games to talk about, even though I'm certain I've forgotten some things that I will probably remember and try to add. Let's talk about Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World is going to go in the A tier. This is another situation of a game where I feel like this game was made for me, but it took me forever to get into. It took me 3 or 4 different attempts trying to get into Monster Hunter because it is really not player friendly in the beginning, at least in my opinion. I feel like it was pretty hard to get into, but once it clicks, and Monster Hunter is so damn fun. The act of hunting monsters and them being these like epic 20 to 30 plus minute battles of you just dwindling and learning their attack patterns, and for those who've played Souls games but have never played Monster Hunter, they may look similar, but they are completely different. They take completely different approaches to these sort of bosses. And Monster Hunter, for me, I know I said Elden Ring has the best combat ever. It's between that and Monster Hunter. They're close. They're completely different, so it's kind of hard to compare the two. But the act of learning monsters, how they react, what they're weak to, where to hit them at, how to approach them, when to approach them, tracking them, is just so much fun. And I didn't put as much time in Monster Hunter World as a lot of people because I played it pretty late. I put about 80 hours in to the base game in Iceborne, and there were some fights that I never even tried. I've never tried fighting Fatalis. I never tried fighting there was one that begins with an A. I can't remember what it's called, but I did beat both the campaigns and did some other hunts aside from that, and it's just a fantastic game. Monster Hunter Wilds, the most recent Monster Hunter game, I'm gonna put it in the B tier. It's a very fun game. It is a game that will eventually be up here. Once all the DLCs and updates are out, I could see this being an S tier game, but in its current state, I'm going to put it in the B tier. I was a little bit disappointed on launch, but I kind of had unrealistic expectations when it came out. B tier is where it can stay, and it will eventually move up the list as more updates happen. Last, possibly, but certainly not least, the Destiny series. I don't know why I said this one to the end, probably because I'm going to talk about this a lot, and these are games that people don't really care about. Destiny is nearly as important of a series to me as like Call of Duty and Borderlands and things of that nature. Destiny is truly, and I'm kind of viewing the series as one. I know there's 2 games here, but I kind of view them as one game because they're just so connected. Destiny in its peak moments is one of the most creative, one of the most unique, one of the most fun, and just incredible video games. Honestly. Like, if you're not into these games, you've probably heard a lot of slander or you just don't know much about them. And even if you are into these games, you probably also dislike them for it's complicated. Okay, it's complicated. But as someone if you views myself as a bit of a Destiny casual nowadays, taking a look back, playing a ton of different games, I just remembered I don't have fucking Metroid Prime on here. God damn it. There are moments in Destiny, and especially in Destiny 2, that rival the best games ever made for me. When it comes to the raids, when it comes to some of the campaigns in Destiny 2, they are masterful pieces of video games. And the gunplay, the first-person shooter, the first-person gameplay is the best first-person shooter I've ever played in terms of gameplay. And it's kind of not even close. Like, if you like games like Cyberpunk, and the way that the games feel, you will fucking fall in love with how good Destiny feels. Destiny is the most satisfying feeling game in first person that I've ever played. I have a lot of nostalgia for these games. I have had a ton of fun with these games, and I've also had a ton of not fun with these games because they can get very, very, very grindy, and that is why I don't play them as often as I used to, and I only play them really casually. I've played every expansion aside from the newest one for Destiny 2, which came out some months ago. It's really hard to talk about Destiny because Destiny, from the outside looking in, people just don't really get it. People think the game is shit, you know, because on a base level, if you aren't into the end game and you haven't dove into the end game in any sort of way, you know what, you might have a valid opinion with that. And a lot of people that are in the Destiny community who do or did play the game very, very consistently and played it a lot, also think the game is shit because the updates have been slower. The overall feel of the game just kind of feels off and isn't really meeting the expectations of the people that have been playing the game for years. And it's really just in a confusing place right now, Destiny as a series. And it's honestly, it's kind of hard to talk about because I think that it's kind of coming to an end, unfortunately. Like, I don't think Destiny will exist for very much longer unless there is a third game that we don't know if that's ever coming out or if that's real or anything. But if Bungie made a single player game nowadays based off of everything that they learned from Destiny, they would make the single fucking best first person shooter game ever. It would be like Elden Ring of first person shooters. Like it would be unbelievable. And because of my nostalgia, because of how much fun I've had in these games and how much I really feel that Destiny at its best moments is one of the best games I've ever played, I'm putting them both in the S tier. Do they deserve to be up there? Probably not, but I'm putting them up there simply because I want the best moments of Destiny are truly underrated and underappreciated, and I don't feel like a lot of people talk about it enough. And I wish that there was a better way for new players to get in and understand why Destiny is so good, but it's just it's messy, man. Destiny is messy, but there are some diamonds in that rough. Let me tell you. Okay, maybe this time actually, certainly last and certainly not least, I've been talking about video games for so long. Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 4. I haven't played 2 and 3. Little bit of background. I was really excited for Metroid Prime 4. I never played Metroid Prime. And the game came out and it was very, very controversial. And I was a little bit saddened by that because I was like, oh, well, damn, I kind of wanted to play that. I guess I'll just play Metroid Prime 1 because everyone seems to love that game. And so that's what I did. I got Metroid Prime Remastered and I was excited to play it, but I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to love it. I thought I was going to like it. And I just come off my Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door playthrough, and I came off liking that game and not loving that game. So I kind of thought it was going to be a similar situation to that. It wasn't. It's S tier. It might be the best first-person shooter I've ever played. Just as like, I know I talked about Destiny's peaks and valleys. There's nothing like that with Metroid. Metroid Prime, through and through, it is an old game, but it is not dated, and it feels incredible. And the gameplay loop is so satisfying. I know I was talking about earlier how I hated Link's Awakening, running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to find out what the hell to do. And there is that a little bit in Metroid Prime, but it never felt aimless. It always felt like there was a target. It always felt like there was ways that you could progress in meaningful, tangible ways in a completely different way as opposed to Link's Awakening, where I was always, even if I found an area where I couldn't progress because I needed to find something else to get further, it was like, okay, well, I now have this ability, so I can go back and to explore this area, and in this area I can find something completely different. And it was just this ever-evolving experience that was masterful. It's a masterpiece. Like, really, if there's one game that I've talked about today that I want people to play, I think Metroid Prime is near the top of that list. Like, I highly recommend you try Metroid Prime, even if you think it looks old, because it is, and you think it's dated. It's really not. Give Metroid Prime a try. It really deserves all the praise that it's ever gotten from the nerdy dude at the comic book store who loves Metroid. He deserves to like Metroid because Metroid is that shit. That being said, I played Metroid Prime and I was like, you know what? I fucking loved that game so much. I don't care what people say. I'm going to play Metroid Prime 4. And I think that the controversy was warranted. I think it's C tier. Man, this is a situation where, like, Nintendo tried, and they did not hit it. Nope. This game has so many problems, and at its best, it's good. At its best, it's really good. I would even say it's great, but even at its best, it's never meeting the peaks of a game that came out 25 years ago. And that is a failure in my opinion. Even though I still like Metroid, even though I still had some fun with this game, there's too much to scoff at. There's too much to not like about this game for it to be any higher than C tier in my opinion. And I wouldn't recommend it honestly. And that's really heartbreaking because this should be up here. This should be an S tier, but it's down here in C tier, and that is very disappointing. So there we go. My video game tier list. I have been talking for 3 hours. That's the full thing on screen. Hopefully that's readable. There's a lot of shit here, so if not, I apologize. Maybe I can like put a picture up in the description. I don't know, but I think that wraps it up. Once again, like I said, if I forgot some things, it'll be in the description or in a comment, and I'll talk about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I feel like I did a pretty bad job at explaining a lot of these games, but at the same time, there was a lot to go through, and these are a lot of games that people are very familiar with, so I didn't really need to go in too deep into plot explanations or gameplay explanations to really get my point across. I feel like new playthrough coming soon. Will probably be near Near Automata. I don't know how to say it still. But more videos coming soon. Once I get my move situation all sorted out and my TV isn't on a box anymore, I think I'm gonna get some more videos out, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm very excited about the future of this channel. I've been itching to get back to doing it after this move. So thank you everyone watching, everyone that watched all the shorts and the videos for Resident Evil. They did a lot better than I thought that they would. It really shocked me to see that I was able to get thousands of views, even if they were just short views mostly. That kind of blew my mind. So I really appreciate it. I hope my tier list didn't scare off everyone from watching me ever again. So thank you all, and that's it.